How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are tackling a movie that never got made, but is certainly in the headlines a lot lately. Spoiler alert for Deadpool and Wolverine. But folks, we are actually tackling the unmade Gambit script, written in 2015. I've been looking for this one for a very long time. I cannot wait to see what this one's going to be like. And we have an awesome cast here tonight. So we're going to jump in introducing ourselves. My name's Logan. I'm going to be doing action description.
Hi, I'm Curtis. I'm going to be Remy LeBeau himself, Gambit.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I will be Maryanne Boudreaux.
I'm Erik. I'll be Henri.
And I'm Hunter, and I'll be Nathaniel Essex.
All right. Well, away we go. Gambit by Joshua Zedemer. Interior Red Hat Building, Louisiana State Pen, day 1984. Three hard-bitten U.S. Marshals enter, passing security booths. A supervisor stands in a freight elevator. He eyeballs the Marshals, then snatches a toothpick from one man's mouth. Interior Elevator Red Hat Building, Louisiana State Pen, day. Abruptly, the Marshals get undressed, stripping tank tops, rings, badges, shoes, everything into secure wall lockers. The elevator descends. Whoever below them is dangerous. Interior sub-basement Mutant Wing, Louisiana State Pen, day. Doors open. The Marshals enter a sleek wing lined with cells. We're in a maximum security wing for mutant prisoners. They pass cleaners vacuuming dust, arrive at a cell at the end of the hall. A klaxon sounds. Three security doors open to interior Gambit cell continuous. Inside, a prisoner kneels like he's praying, arms outstretched. Then we see his wrist attached to a rock-faced ceiling, like he's carrying the weight of the world. His head is dropped. We can only see his hands. They're calloused and burnt, like the hands of a blacksmith. Marshals strap a mask over his face, seal his wrists and waist in adamantium coils. The prisoner is the most dangerous man on the planet. Exterior grounds, Louisiana State Pen, day. The prisoner steps outside into a vast plantation field. We're in an angle of prison, sweltering in the hazy heat. 6 armed guards step forward, weapons trained. Dogs snarl on tight leashes. Marshals lead the prisoner to a transport truck. 4 more guards fastening him on board. Interior-exterior prison transport truck, day. A convoy falls in as the truck follows a dusty road. Road crew glances up, watching it pass. Interior courtroom, New Orleans, day. A ceiling fan spins lazily. Women on the jury fan themselves. A clerk fills up a glass of water. A hush falls from the masked prisoner as he's led to the witness stand. For a moment, you could hear a pin drop. Then the prisoner's mask comes off. This is Remy LeBeau, 30s, Gambit. When we first see his face, he is crushingly handsome. Movie star looks. We see attraction ripple through the jury. One woman raises an eyebrow like, damn. Then, as Gambit's fingers reach for the glass of water, an alarm sounds. 2 U.S. Marshals reach for their guns.
Weapon.
Gambit's fingers inch away from the glass. The jury murmurs. The bailiff approaches Gambit with the King James Bible.
Please state your name.
My name is Remy LeBeau.
The judge, 60s, glances up, sees 2 women in the jury eyeing Gambit, whispering. Their shirts stick to their skin.
Sir, put your right hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell?
As Gambit barely touches the Bible, the same alarm.
Weapon.
Now the marshals are pointing guns at Gambit. The judge sighs. Is all that necessary? Prosecutor, 30, smiles. He's a bully with a perm.
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. With that Bible, that defendant could kill you, me, and anyone in this room.
The judge glances at Gambit. Gambit doesn't deny it. Just put your hands in the general vicinity, son. Gambit floats his hand near the Bible.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Oh,
In the jury box, 2 women smile. The judge eyes them, annoyed. I have to ask, are any of you going to have a problem remaining objective in this case? The women in the jury all look at Gambit. A long beat. One by one, all the Southern women start raising their hands.
Your Honor, he don't look like no criminal. He looked like this boy I knew in grade school had the softest eyes.
Other female jurors all start cutting in, nodding, working themselves into a lather in the sweaty courtroom.
Looks like my swim instructor.
No, he looks like Richard Gere.
As the women all start arguing about who Gambit looks like, the courtroom dissolves into chaos. The judge bangs the gavel. Order! Order! The prosecutor turns his legal team and growls.
Ugh, we're gonna need a new jury.
And that, in a nutshell, is Gambit. Dangerous, but sexy. Slam 2, exterior, Boudreaux Plantation, New Orleans, dusk, 1955. Pounding rain, a storm drenches a lavish garden party at an old New Orleans plantation. Guests rush inside, servants hold umbrellas over their heads, caterers bust food inside the outdoor kitchen, shouting. Amid the sea of umbrellas, we spot a lone red umbrella, held by a black gentleman in a servant's tux, Luke LeBeau, 30s. Luke helps carry food into the servants' quarter, and the servants' entrance. Interior, various Boudreaux Plantation, dusk. We follow Luke as he sweeps up a tray of appetizers, carries them through the party, rich guests swirling around him. One wealthy debutante, Maryanne Boudreaux, 20s, glances over, puzzled, as Luke disappears into a rear pantry. She makes to follow, but is quickly held back by the family patriarch, who's keen to chat about the young groom-to-be beside her. Interior Boudreaux Plantation, pantry, dusk. Luke stands alone. Beat. The hell is he doing in there? Then Luke deftly climbs inside the dumbwaiter. He disappears up the shaft, using the pulley. Luke LeBeau is no servant. He's a master thief. Interior, upstairs hallway, plantation, dusk. Luke emerges into a corridor upstairs, a toilet flushed down the hall. Luke stops cold, about to be trapped. A lesser thief would panic. Luke just grabs his appetizers.
Andouille sausage and jumbo prawn.
Luke starts serving appetizers during his robbery. When the coast is clear, Luke darts upstairs to an attic door. He pulls out lubricant, a screwdriver, picking the lock. Interior attic, plantation, dusk. Luke hurries through the attic and jimmies up 2 floorboards. He drills through plaster underneath, slides his umbrella through the hole. He unfurls it, then hammers the plaster, which is caught by the umbrella. When the hole is large enough, Luke drops into exterior master bedroom, Boudreaux Plantation, dusk. Landing softly on a deep carpet, he flips on a pen light, pads to a wall safe on the closet. Luke shines the light and sees the safe door hanging open, empty. Faint burn marks around it. Luke's face falls. Another thief has beaten him to the job. Just then, a creak. Luke spots a shape dart for the window.
Who that?
But the thief is already at the window, gone. Luke darts for the window, surprised to see the stranger running through the hedge maze below. This thief is fast. Exterior Boudreaux Plantation, dusk. Luke clambers out the window, chasing the thief over the fence. Exterior Oak Alley, New Orleans, dusk. Luke chases the thief away from the house through a long alley of oak trees and onto the rainy fields. Exterior Storyville, waterfront, night. Luke hops a fence to an industrial space by the Mississippi. He darts across tracks just moments before the freight train thunders through. Storyville. A sketchy place. Shanties in the shadow of a giant levee. Luke's uncomfortable here. Spots a few silhouettes lurking in the shadows. Mutants. Luke climbs the levee to see. The thief is a 6-year-old boy. Gambit. The kid washing a headband in the river band-aids his fingers. He whistles a tune. Gambit doesn't spot Luke. He steps into his shanty to see. Interior shanty, Storyville, waterfront, night. Luke is already waiting for him inside, weighing a diamond engagement ring in one hand. Gambit stops short.
Boy, I know you didn't rob that party yourself. Where's your daddy at?
Gambit, a precocious little punk, speaks in gutter patois.
Man, I ain't never got no daddy. I'm brains this outlaw operation.
Luke poking Gambit's stolen treasures with his umbrella.
Oh, you are, huh? Well, tell your little crew that plantation is LeBeau territory. Understand, boy?
Petulant, Gambit starts throwing watches at Luke's feet.
What, you want some of this riches? Take 'em. You want this watch? Take that too. I can't rob more. I'll rob your watch, you ugly son bitch.
A Rolex skitters out the door. Luke can see shadows moving close by. He scrambles for the watch. Voice sharp now.
Knock it off. You trying to get yourself killed?
Luke pockets the watch. He eyes Gambit's other treasures, rings, necklaces, feeling a pang of sympathy for the boy.
If you're smart, you'll fence the rest of this stuff down on Canal Street.
A beat. Gambit just blinks. Luke smiles, schooling him.
A fence is where you sell the jewels too, kid. That's they get just decoration.
Man, I know that.
Course you do. You're the brains of this operation.
Luke opens his red umbrella. He turns to go, warm and dry.
Take care of yourself, boy. Storyville ain't no place for a youngin'.
Gambit watches Luke walk off under the umbrella. Gambit feels a pang of loneliness. He shivers. Water buckets overflow. Gambit makes a choice. Digging into his haul, shoving a stolen ring and a banded roll of photographs into a satchel. Exterior overpass above Storyville night. Luke climbs into an elevated road above Storyville. Gambit follows. Car tires splash and puddles. Exterior overpass, edge of the bayou, night. The overpass now deserted. Luke heads home above the swamps. Across the road, Gambit follows. A truck passes. Gambit watches as Luke seems to disappear off the overpass. Gambit darts across, puzzled. Then he spots a rope ladder to the bayou below. Gambit starts climbing down the ladder. Exterior of the bayou, night. Gambit finds himself in a dark swamp. He quickly loses sight of Luke. Alone, Gambit's suddenly nervous. Then he hears.
Don't tell me you're scared of alligators, boy.
Gambit turns, sees Luke's umbrella extended from the sawgrass. Gambit stands in the rain, then darts under his umbrella. Exterior of the bayou, night. Luke and Gambit push through the tall sawgrass over a hidden pathway of waterlogged boards. They emerge to see a boat, a multi-tiered jumble of house parts built onto a steel hull. As Gambit looks up in awe, splat! A slot machine drops off the balcony into the mud. On the top deck are 6 of Luke's boys, including Henri and Charlie, 8 and 6, streetwise lost boys. Henri's the alpha.
Charlie, you're still hucking it like a little baby girl, man.
3 more kids drop, smacking the slot machine with hammers. Luke wipes spattered mud and growls. He tugs Gambit aside. Interior, upper deck, the boat, night. Luke walks Gambit into the ramshackle boat. It's a cozy space. A few shitty paintings sit waiting to be fenced. Inside are 6 more street kids. They feed stray cats, watch 7 Samurai from a stolen projector. Kids watch Gambit pass. One kid makes a face. Gambit reeks.
Find yourself a bed.
Henri enters from the outside.
They ain't sleeping near me. Smells like he stepped in duck shit.
Y'all need to get this stray a bath.
Other kids roughly grab Gambit's arms, pulling at him.
Hey, quit.
Boys haul him to the bath like Piggy in Lord of the Flies. Water pours from a spigot. Kids yank off Gambit's shirt. Henri pushing him underwear. Grime sloughs off Gambit's white skin.
I don't want it. It's cold.
Dunk his head, Henri.
Dunk him.
Limbs, shouts, Gambit sputters. Henri oblivious that something's wrong. Suddenly, underwater, Gambit's hand starts vibrating. Trembling so fast, all the ice-cold water starts to boil.
I mean, let me go.
On Gambit's eyes, capillaries fill with rust-colored blood. Henri falls back as a wave of explosive energy spreads out. Interior Luke's quarters, the boat, night. Luke places Gambit's treasures into a small safe. He looks up, drenched by bathwater flooding through the ceiling rafters. Interior, upper deck, the boat, continuous. Luke barrels downstairs. Water sprays everywhere, like someone's thrown a hand grenade into the bath.
Damn it, Henri. The hell's that ruckus?
Kids are backed into corners, stunned and soaking. In the tub rubble, little Gambit looks back at him, ashamed.
It's a walking stick of TNT.
Interior, bottom deck, the boat, night. Thunk. Luke drops the slot machine onto the table, eyes Gambit.
Open it.
Gambit eyes the kids, cautious. He reaches out and touches the machine's lock. Gambit cowers like he's just set a bomb. Nothing happens. As kids pull confused faces, crack, the slot machine explodes. Luke ducks as loose change blasts into the walls and ceiling. Gambit's not in control of his powers.
All right.
Dumbstruck kids look to Luke. Charlie picks up nickels, giddy.
Does he got bad blood or something?
To our surprise, Luke softens. Unlike every parent in the X-Men universe, Luke isn't scared of mutants.
Blood don't matter. Reckon everybody got a little of that devil in them.
Luke eyes Gambit. Looks to the other kids. A tough mentor.
I think you could be a real good hunter for us. Long as we all keep our mouths shut.
Gambit nods profusely, relieved he's not being cast out.
Kid, you got a name.
As Gambit lifts his voice to speak, match cut to Exterior Food Markets, French Quarter Day, 1964. Cousin Henri, now 15, on an outdoor market, bellowing.
Remy, wait up.
Up ahead, out of the crowded, grimy marketplace, bursts Gambit, now 14. He passes fruit stands, clutching a bottle of milk.
Got it.
Gambit runs, groceries falling from his hands. His cousin Henri and Charlie, 13, scrawny, race up to meet him. Charlie crunches a grocery list. Eggs, crossed out. Cheese, crossed out. Bread, crossed out. Milk. Around them, 12 slum kids plunder the market like locusts, young kids stealing fruit, older kids whip past on bicycles. Gambit vaults into a cart, hurling past a street hand to an exterior cafe, French Quarter day. Gambit leaps to a table, Henri ducks it, slumdog parkour. Kids run through the cafe where musicians practice as Gambit quickly is up and over a wooden fence. He's so fast, the other kids struggle to keep up. Exterior back street, French Quarter day. The kids keep running, smack into a padlocked fence, but Gambit just touches the lock. It bursts open. We follow a piece of shrapnel flying. Crack! It shatters a cop car window, turning the corner. A cop yells to his partner.
Daryl, it's him again!
Gambit, a reckless teenager with powers he can't control.
Oh, Christ, sorry.
Kids scatter, ducking cops, zipping past on bikes, giving police the finger, all the cops zeroing in on Gambit. Exterior alleyway, Storyville border, day. Gambit, Henri, and Charlie enter the alley, suddenly tense. They're at the dividing line between Storyville and the French Quarter. A decrepit sign overhead. Storyville welcomes you.
Man, we ain't supposed to be here.
Gambit doesn't care. He leaps up on the drain pipe of a drab facility. It looks vaguely like a hospital. Below, Henri picks up groceries raining from Gambit's pocket as he climbs. Now Gambit's the alpha. Henri's job is cleaning up.
You need to take your little tampon, bruh. There ain't nothing to be.
Suddenly, Gambit yelps, scared. A girl, 10, stares at him through the window. Her face is demonic. Black eyes and bones jut out of her face like horns. Gambit leaps away, catches a fire escape, sends down a ladder.
Come on, y'all, up here.
As the cops close in, the kids run for the fire escape, onto exterior rooftops, French Quarter continuous. Gambit runs rooftops, all of New Orleans beneath him. The narrow streets, bayous, and riverboats on the Mississippi. Gambit spots cops behind them, behind them, yanks Henri into a doorway. Exterior back stairway, psychic parlor, day. Gambit runs down the stairs into a psychic parlor building. Interior hallway, psychic parlor, day. A long hallway full of occult objects and doorways. One door is ajar. Gambit hears a girl's voice. Gambit stops and doubles back, glances through a crack in the wall, whispers.
Hey, yo, hold up a minute.
Gambit's POV, a cute teenage girl, Belladonna Boudreaux, 13, reading tarot cards for a tourist couple. Interior psychic parlor, day. Bella eyes the tourist, a blasé punk vibe. She flips tarot cards, couldn't care less about telling fortunes.
See y'all from out of town. You're very much in love, and I see. Hey, you man, we're coming into some money. What I tell you, this little charlatan is scamming us.
They make to leave, grabbing back their money on the table. Bella reacts, annoyed. Through the crack, Gambit watches, stunned, as Bella's body creates a static charge. Her clothes and hair seem to become weightless, like she's underwater. Suddenly, Bella's eyes roll back into her head, eerie. The tourists stop in their tracks. Bella, a psychic who's actually psychic. Her voice is tougher.
See, y'all are down from New York, and you've been treating Nolans like your own personal toilet. You work at IBM, you drink too much, and you ignore your kids. That'll be $200. What? The rest is why I don't tell Pat you're from Human Resources, that you're down here with his wife.
The female tourist looks stunned. Bella turns to her sweetly.
He ain't ever getting that divorce, honey. I'd throw this one back. Plenty of fish in the sea.
The couple blinks, sobering up fast. On Gambit, glued to the crack, he smiles, swooning, sees the tourist quickly hurry out of the front exit, frazzled.
I told you we should have stayed on Bourbon Street.
Interior hallway, psychic parlor, day. Just then, Gambit spots two cops at either end of the corridor. No choice. He spills into the psychic parlor as Bella shoves money into her training bra. Gambit stumbles in.
Miss, I saw what you did.
Bella reacts, pulling a knife from the table. Fierce.
You didn't see shit.
Gambit reacts, pulling a tarot card from the table and holding it up in exchange. Bella cocks an eyebrow.
It's okay, Chef. I'm like you.
Ain't no one like me.
Bella lets fly with the knife. Gambit ducks and hurls his card in self-defense. Bella sideswipes. The card punches a hole in the wall. Bella eyes the wall, eyes Gambit. Slowly, she starts to smile.
Oh,
Abruptly, the entire wall collapses, revealing a stunned cop standing in the back corridor, eyes turned to Gambit. The cop goes for his whistle and blows hard. Gambit freezes, busted. In that moment, Bella makes a choice. Whispers.
he's gonna kill me.
Then Bella grabs Gambit's hand, tugging him out the front door. Gambit sees Bella's hand touching his. He's in heaven. Exterior, Dumaine Street, French Quarter, day. Bella and Gambit burst out past tourists and performers. Gambit spots Henri and Charlie running in the street. Remy, we ain't got time to travel with no girls, cuz.
Come on, I know a shortcut.
She tugs Gambit. The four kids running together now into a brothel, French Quarter, day. The kids hustle into a whorehouse, past gaudy prostitutes. As one of the Johns goes to put on a brown duster, Gambit snatches it as he runs by. The coat is too big for him.
That ain't on the list, bro. That'll give you a whipping.
Who cares? This coat looks correct.
The kids run up the stairs into a dim hallway. They hear moans behind doors. Gambit peeks inside. Bella scoffs.
Don't go to the mines.
Gambit spots four cops entering below. He reaches into the wall, grabs an exposed copper piping. With a hum, the pipe heats up. Downstairs, the cops look up to see the water pipes rattling. The pipes explode. Blasts of steam incapacitate the cops. Prostitutes and Johns pour from the bedrooms. The lobby, now chaos. Upstairs, Charlie and Henri look stunned. Bella and Gambit see the chaos and grin. Exterior, back courtyard, brothel, day. The kids hop out a window onto the street. They see the cop hurrying out of his squad car. The car door is ajar. Gambit stares at the vacant cop car, and Henri hisses. Wait, it's going too far. Gambit looks at Bella. She grabs his arm, tugs him towards the cop car, bringing out the best in each other, or the worst. Oh man, this chick is bad. Interior, exterior, cop car, day. Gambit rips off the wheel casing, touches the ignition cable. The engine growls. Bella's impressed.
You've driven before, right?
Oh, yeah, girl. Tons of times.
Gambit can't reach the gas. He clutches the retractable police baton and presses down. As the car lurches forward, exterior street, French Quarter, day, wham! Abruptly, Gambit crashes into another police car. Interior, mugshot room, French Quarter police station, day. Gambit grins for a mugshot, toothless. He turns to profile, smiles at Bella. They can't take their eyes off each other.
My name's Remy LeBeau.
Bella's hand idly touching his.
Belladonna Boudreaux. So, you're a pretty good thief, huh?
No, I'm the best I've ever been.
Our soundtrack kicks in. Devil went down to Georgia. Interior station room, French Quarter police station, day. An inebriated Luke hands over a wad of cash to a bail clerk.
I'm real sorry, officer. My Remy just got a whole lot of energy.
Station doors open. Bella's mother, Maryanne, 30s, sweeps in. Face full of makeup, heels clicking, surrounded by an entourage of high-class thugs. A shrewd New Orleans godmother. Her son, Julian, sits on a desk like he owns the place.
Where's she at? Where's my baby girl?
The clerk sits up. Maryanne knows him, oozing charm.
Lou, I'm just beside myself. I was fixing some beignets when I heard the news.
She hands the bail clerk a bag of pastries, leans in and whispers.
Now, I trust we won't further burden the city's judicial system by sending my little girl to courts.
Lou eyes the beignets. Underneath, rolls of cash. Across the room, the security door opens. Bella steps into the lobby. Maryanne eyes her daughter's bloody face.
Young lady, I don't know what's gotten into you.
Then Gambit steps out behind her. Suddenly, everything makes sense. Maryanne glowers at Luke. On Gambit and Bella, walking out of the corridor, oblivious to their parents' dismay, a tableau of criminal and cops walking behind them.
You better keep that hustle away from my baby girl, LeBeau. I don't need Bella exposed to any bad influences.
Bad influences? Remy ain't stolen but kibbled us before. I think maybe your daughter's the bad influence.
Exterior police station, French Quarter, New Orleans, day. Gambit and Bella walk outside where two crews await. Gambit's crew, ragtag, one rusty Chevy, slum kids on dirt bikes. Bella's crew, Old school mob, Cadillacs and chrome glinting in waistbands. Cousin Vincent, 20, wears a silk shirt. The crews talk trash. Gambit and Bella lost in each other.
Before you go, let me still just one more thing.
Gambit leans in and kisses her. Then, as the kids start making out,
Remy, you act civilized now, you hear?
Belladonna, that ain't no way for a lady to behave.
they wrestle the kids apart to the sound of shredding violins. Gambit and Bella stare out windows as their cars drive off. Match cut, exterior street, Boudreaux Plantation, dusk 1973. 10 years later, a cop car with a busted window pulls up to camera and stops. Gambit steps out, now an adult clad in bell bottoms. He leaves the car running, abandoning it in the street. We follow Gambit as he approaches a plantation wall, starting an impossibly graceful, silent break-in. He connects two police batons, forming a staff, vaults over a wall into a tree, flipping onto a balcony like a gymnast. Below, Vincent lugs beer into the house, oblivious. Above, Gambit pulls out a tin filled with a mixture of epoxy and gunpowder. He dabs it on a window and touches it. Boom! It ignites, silently cutting a circle into the glass. Gambit, now almost in full control of his powers. He peers into the house and sees Bella in the shower. Interior, Boudreaux Plantation, dusk. Inside, a record player spins Fats Domino. The house's old money, portraits of family patriarchs on the wall. As Bella steps from the shower, she feels a faint charge as someone ghosts past. The hairs on Bella's neck stand up.
Remy, is that you?
Then Bella turns. She sees only shadows lining the wall. Bella looks puzzled as her cousin Vincent, now 30s, rounds the corner, his arms full of Dixie beer, oblivious.
I don't see it. Yeah, Belle, you coming to the guild meeting? Party's supposed to be righteous.
Bella watches in horror as Gambit's hand snakes out of the shadows behind Vincent, silently stealing one of his beers. Gambit, addicted to risk. Bella nods, stilted.
Yeah, Vincent, I wouldn't miss it.
Vincent moves off. Bella darts into the shadows, finds Gambit coolly drinking the beer. She swats him, stifling laughter.
You damn mind, Mama sees you, she'll dump your ass in the swamp.
Risk I'm willing to take.
With that, Gambit yanks Bella back into her bedroom. Interior, Bella's room, twilight. Gambit and Bella make out heavily against the wall now, her hands gliding up his back, whispers through kisses.
Shh, they're gonna hear.
Bella's free hand turns up the TV, words through kisses.
You sure you want me to go, Chef?
Now you can stay, one condition. Let me go up inside your head while we're making love.
Gambit stops kissing her, not crazy about the idea.
I just think it'd be nice is all. Make me feel close to you.
He looks at her, more sincere.
You really want to know what's up in this here shit?
So too.
Well, go on then.
Bella shuts her eyes. Their bodies become charged with a static pulse as Bella reads Gambit's mind. Flash to a single revolting image. Gambit's fat cousin Henri, pants down, eating KFC on the toilet. He looks right at us.
Sup?
Back to the scene. Bella starts smacking Gambit, furious.
You damn pervert.
Gambit grabs her, cracking up.
I woke you up cousin Henry last week. They delivered just for you.
I go, what the hell is wrong with you?
He throws her to the bed, the
Jeez.
two giggling. Interior, downstairs kitchen, Boudreaux Plantation, twilight. Crabs boil in a pot. Maryanne cooks while her boys watch wrestling on TV. Two servants prep as Maryanne reaches for the paprika, her hand passing a pistol inside the cupboard.
Jules, honey, go tell Belle it's time for supper.
Julian peels himself off the couch. The mood suddenly tense. Interior, Bella's bedroom, twilight. Upstairs, Gambit and Bella hook up in bed, unaware. The TV rolls footage from future past. Mystique saving President Nixon. Love them or fear them, mutants are here to stay. Bella in Gambit's lap, half closed. He kisses her chest.
You know, I might be coming into some money soon. Maybe we should look.
For real? Like to Vegas or something?
Gambit reaches into a bowl of ice water. Steam comes off his hand as he gives Bella a cold towel for her neck.
I'm partial to Paris myself. But you want Vegas, I'll give you Vegas.
Big talk. You ain't even left Nolans.
That's exactly the reason to do it. Swap in the Cadillac, stop at the first chapels.
Gambit's fingers leave a faint trail of heat on her bare back.
I don't know. I always saw a wedding as one of those funky parades down Frenchman. Both our families there.
Yeah, well, I know family's important and all, but sometimes,
What? Say it.
Gambit eyes the TV, rolling footage of mutants.
sometimes I wonder why you fawn all over your family when you don't even know the real you. Feel me?
Bella eyes the TV, speaks softly, idly, trying not to answer.
You know, I never really dug that word, mutant. The way to describe us, and it sounds like a slur.
For real? Shit sounds outlandish.
Bella turns back to face him, looking down, serious.
You don't get that it's different from me, right? Your folks ain't gonna judge you. Mama's just a little more old school is all.
Abruptly, a knock on the door. Julian's outside.
Belle, you in there?
Bella and Gambit instantly react. Bella motions. Go.
Just a sec.
Gambit darts to the window, back the way he came. Pauses.
When can I see you again?
Bella motions. Dude, go. She snags a flyer off of her desk.
Y'all ain't hitting up that election thing, ain't you?
Oh no, you definitely ain't on the guest list. Now will you please scoot?
Just when the door opens, Bella turns. Gambit's already gone. Exterior Oak Alley, New Orleans, twilight. Gambit walks to the Oak Alley outback, the swelling hum of cicadas all around him. Gambit's frustrated. He reacts to an intense migraine, his eyes rust red. He sits, takes a pack of playing cards from his coat, and slides one card from the deck. He holds it in his hand for a moment, feels the weight, then throws it. Boom. He splinters a branch. Gambit throws another, further, then another, harder. This time an oak tree cleaves in half, a hint of Gambit's inner darkness coming out. Interior downstairs kitchen, Boudreaux plantation, twilight. Inside, Maryanne's removing her apron. She stops short, hearing the sound of thunder from the darkness. Cut to exterior street, Federal Reserve Bank, day. Dress shoes click on marble. We're behind a dapper banker exiting a huge Federal Reserve. We wonder why we're here. Then we see Luke LeBeau across the street. Cousin Henri steps off his bike and approaches. We see we've been following Gambit, posing as a banker. The LeBeaus are casing the bank. They converge on the street. Charlie pulls up on a motorcycle, stopwatch around his neck. The men talk without looking at each other. Got a whole 8 minutes to the police station. But gold.
Can't be done.
Gambit's firm. Henri and Charlie share a frustrated look.
I mean, come on. Me and Charlie been at this for weeks.
Yeah? And you missed the 10 treasure agents inside. We ain't got the manpower to handle that.
So that's it.
Gambit eyes the bank.
Well, no, not necessarily.
What's up, son? You got something cooking?
Henri grouses. Soft.
Oh, I see. Remy's got a plan. Suddenly, you're all ears.
But if not for Remy, we'd still be hustling nickel slots. Now, what you got, Rem?
Gambit keeps staring at the massive bank, thinking. Cut to interior Guild Hall night. An old bluesman, 70s, singing under a spotlight. As he sings, miraculously 2 more voices filter out of his throat. He sings in 3 voices at once, harmonizing with himself. Lights come on. A mutant-fronted brass band kicks in. The Storyville Singers painted on the bass drum. We're at the guild shindig, twirl on the dance floor. Entering the back room, Maryanne and fellow members of the guild, including a politician and a city councilman. We are witnessing the meeting of the members of the original Assassins Guild.
They certainly can play, though frankly, I'm surprised you let them headline.
Here in New Orleans, mutant racism feels almost genteel.
Speaking of the MUTA and TASs, Councilman, I understand y'all are voting to expand those new housing projects in Storyville.
Maryanne smoothly slides the councilman a check. He folds it up.
You know, I hold nothing against them personally. Doesn't mean I want to live next to.
By the entrance, Gambit, Henri, Charlie, and the LeBeaux enter. A posse from the wrong side of the tracks, gate crashing. By the bar, Gambit grabs a whole bottle of red wine, downing it fast.
Yeah, for bro. Keep going like that. You'll go soft around the middle.
Commentable.
On the dance floor, the crowd twirls. Gambit approaches, drinking his wine, eyeing the band. Bella spies Gambit and suppresses a smile. A silk-shirted Vincent eyes the gate crashers and scowls.
Dr. Guild had a dress code.
Julian spies the LeBeaux and rises, ready for blood. Gambit begins to move on the dance floor, subtly at first, but he's right up front, making a connection with the band. The music intensifies. We see the mutant drummer and trumpeter, fingers now moving with preternatural speed. Soon the crowd is left in the dust. Only Gambit can keep up with the band. Bella dances with Gambit from across the floor, keeping up with the band too. Soon Gambit and Bella are locked into a funky, seismic dance, eyes locked. For a moment, they're in sync. Women start glancing at Gambit now, on Bella, watching. That's my man. Then she sees Gambit enjoying the attention. Bella mouths her feelings, turns, and leaves the floor. The crowd stepping in to fill the space. Gambit frowns, following.
Sure, we up.
Julian moves past her into Gambit's path, body checking him.
I don't think I like your attentions toward my sister.
Gambit's crew cuts in, eyeing Julian.
Dude, I ain't crazy about your intentions towards your sister.
Julian's eyes flash. Is that a pistol in his coat? Mood suddenly changes. Then a cool voice snaps behind them.
Outside.
The crews, all following her out. Exterior street, Board of Trade Hall, night. Maryanne watches from the steps as the families talk shit. Those waiting outside joining the fray.
All right, boys, time to scamper on back to the bayou.
All right, partner, did I tear that pretty silk shirt?
Julian goes for his weapon, the atmosphere verging on violence. Gambit looks to Maryanne.
Ma'am, this is foolishness. I didn't come here to fight. We came here to offer you a deal.
Cousins keep arguing. Gambit, eyes locked with Maryanne.
We might run in different circles, but we're all crooks here, and we've been planning this real nice bang thing.
Stop talking. Oh, here we go. More pretty words from the Cajun.
Maryanne puts up a hand, radar popping. The crews quiet down.
Oops. Belle, you heard anything about this?
Bella shakes her head.
The job's too big for one crew, but we all run crowd control. With two crews, four of these all in it together, there's no limit to what we can do.
Luke cocks his head. Bold play. Maryanne eyes Bella, shrewd.
And now see, I'm just racking my brain wondering why you'd bring us in on something like that. I wouldn't have nothing to do with Bella now, would it?
Bet your ass it does.
Luke steps up, seeing an angle, cutting Henri out.
Henry, ain't no one talking to you. Remy's right. We here tussling when together. We could be running Nolans. Hell, there's nothing. There's enough of us here. We'd practically be a guild.
Henri just shaking his head. Maryanne coolly eyes Gambit.
Where's all this leave you and my daughter?
Gambit eyes Bella, coming clean about his feelings.
I'll be honest, man. I think your daughter is just the belle of the ball. I like the chance to prove myself to you, and in the process, to make you very, very rich.
Bella's heart swells. Henri's annoyed. Maryanne smiles down. Cut to interior Boudreaux plantation night. Maryanne leads Julian to the outside porch and takes his ear. Cicadas buzz outside. She eyes her son, speaks quietly.
Julian, don't you let some petty jealousy get in the way of a good score. You wait outside.
Before Julian can protest, Maryanne walks back inside.
Well, honey, I just don't know if we work with these boys. We gotta trust them with our lives. I do trust Remy. I just don't understand why you can't too. In my experience, there are three reasons men steal. Some do it out of necessity, some do it out of greed. For some guys, it's about the buzz. They tend to be selfish, reckless. I saw that in Remy the day y'all met. Yeah, when I was 14, ain't it time to put this stupid feud to bed? I know Remy's got a wild streak. He also got a real big heart.
Maryanne considers her daughter and smiles. Cut to a convoy of Cadillacs leaving through Oak Alley. Interior trailer, slaughterhouse truck, day. In a speeding truck, the LeBeaux apply black and white face paint. Gambit shuffles his deck of cards, superstitious.
How we feeling, Jeff?
With flourish, Gambit cuts a card at random. It's an image of a pot of gold, the rich man. Gambit looks emboldened. Exterior rear entrance, Federal Reserve Bank, day. Slaughterhouse truck speeds up to the Federal Reserve, stops. Boudreaux cars pull up, 20 thugs in balaclavas emerge. Or balaclavas. Truck doors open to reveal LeBeau in zombie makeup on motorcycles. The two families are the largest crew of criminals we've ever seen, 40 thieves. The crews eye each other, uneasy. Then Bella climbs onto Gambit's motorcycle, arms around him. A public display of trust. Gambit guns his engine. Bella holds tight. We stay behind them as they speed into the Federal Reserve Bank. Interior rear hallway, Federal Reserve. Gambit blasts up the stairs on the bike, Bella using her powers as they ride. Bella yells into Gambit's ear as they ride. They work in sync, a mutant Bonnie and Clyde.
Right stairwell, baby.
Gambit blasts up an iron stairway, heading for the main floor.
Dude on your left has a gun.
As the guard bursts out onto the door, Gambit breaks and ducks. In one fluid motion, Bella's off the bike, clocks the guard with brass knuckles, knocking him out. Gambit eyes her.
I love you so fucking hard.
Gambit kicks in a door, and they speed into interior bank floor, Federal Reserve. The huge bank floor is crowded with government employees. The bike speeds in. Bella fires 2 shots into the ceiling.
Heads up, America. Y'all being robbed.
People drop. More bikes blast in, leaving rubber burns on the marble. Boudreaux thugs enter with pistols and shout.
On the floor, eyes down, bitch.
Vincent shoves civilians. Julian pistol whips an aging guard. Henri and Luke are unnerved by the Boudreaux's brutality. Luke hurries to the gate leading to the vault chamber. He jams a cutter spreader through the bars, whispers sweetly to the terrified clerk.
Easy, honey. I'll be over in a minute.
Claws open the bars like rubber. Gambit and Bella blast past. Interior, basement vaults, Federal Reserve, day. The bikes descend stairs and corridors, reaching the vault. Interior vault room, continuous. Gambit, Henri, and Bella look up at the prize. Gambit approaches fast, hammering huge steel wedges under the vault door. Henri unrolls sheaths of tools. Gambit slips in Ogillis, like a welder, comic book by way of James Caan in Thief. Interior of the vault chamber, day. From inside, clang. The wedges explode, blowing open the door. The team enters to see pallets of cash.
Raw. Jackpot.
Men grab cash, dump it into backpacks strapped to their chest. Other LeBeau riders enter, loading up on cash, then exiting. Everyone's ready to leave when Gambit glances down a side corridor to see a smaller secondary vault.
Hold up. He said it was just one vault. What's up with door number 2?
My blueprints would have been old. Doesn't matter. Stick to the plan.
But Gambit's eyeing the second vault, drawn in by the challenge.
Nah, I think I could do it.
You know, we ain't got time.
True, bruh. Sometimes you gotta know when to fold them.
But for Gambit, it's always all or nothing. He glares at Henri.
We could have planned for this if you did your job. Why is there always amateur out with you, man?
Henri looks stung.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just keep the Bordeaux upstairs while I'm doing my thing. You can do that, can't you?
Henri wheels away, pissed. Gambit approaches the second vault, begins charging the steel wedges under the door. Sparks fly. Interior bank floor, Federal Reserve, day. Henri guns his bike back upstairs. Anxious. All around, the bank is in chaos. Boudreaux thugs shout, dirt bikes whip past. Henri hears a faint rattle. Gambit's charged wedges exploding. Interior. A basement vault's Federal Reserve day. In the vault, Bella's stopwatch beeps.
That's it. We got to move on.
But Gambit ignores her. He enters the second vault, eager for the challenge. The dark look in his eyes troubles Bella. Behind the security grill, we can see stacks of gold bars.
Baby, I'm doing this for us. We can take this money, get our asses down to Chihuahua, Mexico. This could be our big win.
Bella holds up a huge bag of cash, incredulous.
Baby, we already won.
Gambit isn't listening. He's charging up the metal security grill with his bare hands, sparks reflected in his goggles.
Remy, come on. We got to split. I ain't screwing around.
Like a gambler who can't leave the table, Gambit can't stop. Bella seeing his dark side come out.
Baby, I can do this. 1 minute.
Then Bella's eyes roll back in her head, using her powers. Images flood into her mind from around the bank. Bella sees a police car approaching, 2 cops entering the side door. Bella's eyes snap open. Her face is now full of dread.
Remy, now!
The Gambit's riding adrenaline, won't stop. Orange eyes dark.
No.
Bella steps back, disappointed by what she's seeing. Softly.
I was right about you.
Bella hurries out, leaving Gambit to protect her family. Interior bank floor, Federal Reserve day. Bella runs into the chaotic floor. She turns circles, searching for the cops, but seeing only doorways, shouting criminals. The police could be anywhere. We see panic building on Bella's face until finally, Bella's eyes roll back into her head, using her powers publicly, right in the middle of the bank robbery. The air stirs around her. Both families stare in awe. Then Bella's eyes open. She points to the balcony and shouts.
We got 2 cops behind that door.
On the balcony, the Boudreaux thugs turn, kick open the door, pointing thugs at the startled cops.
Drop it. On your knees.
The cops drop their guns. Everyone else just stares at Bella. The 2 families, all the civilians, in dumb shock now.
Yo, is she a...
Yo,
Damn, she's a mutant. We stay on Julian, really panicking. Steps towards Bella.
You got something you want to tell us?
Wait, I can explain.
Jules doesn't want an explanation. He grabs Bella by the throat, pushing her back into the wall. They're both panicking.
What kind of voodoo shit was that?
Jules doesn't spot Gambit. Up from the vault behind him. All at once, Gambit knocks Jules away hard. Julian draws his gun. Gambit hoists a gold bar, hurling. Ba-bang! A hole in the wall beside Jules. Jules drops the gun, stunned. As Gambit turns, all eyes in the bank are on him and Bella. Civilians stare. The families look stunned. The bank goes dead silent. Gambit, his eyes rust red. A mutant couple together against the world. Their big moment.
It's gonna be all good, baby. Just tell me you want me.
But Bella looks back at Gambit with a mix of distance and fear. The look on her face just breaks Gambit's heart. Then,
Honey, get away from him.
Bella's caught between Gambit and her mother. And in that moment, she lets go of Gambit's hand. Maryanne grabs her daughter, protective. Vincent aims a gun at Gambit's head. Gambit looks devastated.
Step back, asshole.
Henri and Charlie pull guns, pointing weapons at Vincent. The bank robbery is now turning into a violent standoff.
Yo, put that piece away.
Drop the gun, hillbilly.
The civilians scream as the crews face off. Gambit sees Julian reach for his gun.
You do it.
Suddenly, Luke cuts in, growling at Gambit. Sharp.
You stand down, boy. You done enough.
Gambit keeps his eyes on Julian. Luke trying to defuse it.
Let's all just keep it professional. More cops will be here any second.
Luke starts lowering his gun. Men start doing the same.
That's right. We'll talk this out later.
Gambit and Julian are eyes locked. A showdown at the OK Corral. Julian glancing at his pistol on the floor. Gambit, a tarot card, spins on a finger behind his back. Julian, hand darting out for the gun. Suddenly, boom. Gambit hurls the card so fast we barely see it. The explosion blows Julian into the wall, killed instantly. Boudreaux thugs take hits of shrapnel. A moment of stunned silence follows. Then, the big scream.
He's dead. Jules is dead.
Bella eyes Gambit, horrified. He opens his mouth to explain, but the entire room erupts into gunfire, the two families blasting each other on the bank floor. In seconds, the robbery becomes a tableau of death and chaos. Civilians scream, gunshots pop, men scramble for bikes. Henri looks up to see Luke, blood billowing from beneath his shirt. Henri catches him as he falls, shaking him.
Dad! Dad!
Luke's been shot through the back. Dead. Gambit looks over.
No.
Then up to see the Boudreaux rushing towards the exit. In the chaos, Gambit doesn't know who shot his father. Interior front hallway, Federal Reserve day. Crews shoot their way downstairs through incoming cops. Dazed, Gambit pulls out a gold bar. He flings it at the exit. Boom. Exterior front, Federal Reserve. Outside, the LeBeaus speed off in one direction. Boudreaux go the other. Gambit and his crew wrestle Luke's body into his car. Gambit and Bella go separate ways, a mirror image of their moment as teenagers. Now they can't bear to look at each other. Interior Boudreaux Cadillac day. The Boudreaux Cadillac speeds away. Bella's tears smear voodoo makeup. Julian's dead in the back seat, and Bella looks to her mom.
I'm sorry. I understand if you never want to see me again.
To our surprise, Maryanne's fighting back tears too.
I ain't losing my daughter too.
Bella starts to cry, forgiven for being a mutant. But as Bella goes to hug her mother, Maryanne flinches. We hold on Maryanne's look as they embrace. Interior, the boat, early evening. Total silence. Gambit sits on a bench, head down, devastated, hands covered in burn marks. Cousins pace, shouting in silence. Charlie cradles Luke's body. Money stacked on the table. A sound rushes back. I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust those assholes.
She gonna wanna do battle over this for sure.
Dazed, Gambit looks to Luke's body. As he kneels down to touch him, Henri reacts, pushing Gambit back, growling.
He ate your blood. You got no right to touch him.
Henri shoves Gambit back into the wall, tense, making a fist. He punches Gambit hard, but he doesn't flinch, taking it.
It's okay, bro. Get up.
Henri punches him again, harder.
You did this.
Gambit doesn't react. Then Henri pulls a gun and cocks the trigger, aiming it between his eyes. Gambit goading him.
Come on. You don't have the boast.
Smack. Henri swings a gold bar, knocks out one of Gambit's teeth. Henri throws more loot at Gambit. Gold, bills, enraged.
Here, take it. That's what you do, right? Just take and take. Go on, take it and crawl back to your Bordeaux bitch. That's what this was all about, right?
Gambit's on the floor, money all around him, degraded.
Careful, Henri. You won't last 1 minute without me.
What? You think we need you? This family never needed you. You're just some mutant we found on the street.
Sharp voice interrupts. Stop it! Little Charlie cradles Luke's head, crying, looks at Gambit. Henri's right, man. You're the bad guy. On Gambit. Henri wordlessly turns his back on Gambit. Other cousins do the same. Interior entryway of the boat, night. Gambit can hear the insects buzz, the sound of his cousins arguing off screen. Before he leaves, Gambit looks up, sees an old slot machine nickel wedged into the door jab. With that, Gambit yanks the nickel out of the wall, leaving with 5 cents to his name. Exterior of the boat, bayou, night. Gambit walks into the sawgrass and disappears. 10 years later. Exterior, Paris Boulevard, Deschamps-Élysées, at dusk, 1983. A white Porsche pulls up, blaring Duran Duran. A man with an umbrella steps out, crossing the street. Is it Gambit? Alain, 40s. He nods to a bouncer, passing neon-lit call girls in gaudy dresses, rain ruining their big hair. Interior subterranean pool hall day. Alan strides past pool tables, past well-dressed gangster shooting pool, malls preening. In the back booth, he finds Gambit with a bottle of wine. It's playing solitaire. The years have changed him. The stench of wealth, the trench coat as a fur collar, the tooth Henri knocked out, now solid gold. Alan doesn't break stride, motions for Gambit to follow.
Oh, comme c'est pas le solitaire.
Gambit grabs his wine, a Louis Vuitton bag, and peels himself up.
Loser.
Exterior rear alley, suburban pool hall day. Cut back, a Natalie dressed backer waits by a van. This is Jacob Gavin, 40s. Behind him, a driver in the shadows. Jake watches Gambit and Alan approach. Gambit stumbles, drunk. We also see that he wears pink striped bike shorts, as if Jean-Paul Gaultier designed his comic book wardrobe. Alan approaches Jake, eyeing Gambit, glowering.
I cannot work with this. He's wearing bike shorts, for God's sake. Ugh.
You have anyone else in Paris willing to do the job? Anyone in the world, even?
Meanwhile, Gambit plops down on a Mercedes, sets off the car alarm. He could care less, just ambles to the van. But when Gambit peeks inside, we see the driver is a muscular mutant with scabrous skin, Alphonse. Gambit darkens a bit, looks at Jake.
You didn't tell me you had a mutant on Marko.
Is that a problem?
Gambit eyes Omar, pushing himself into the van.
I just be careful about you. Can't trust.
Exterior courtyard Louvre, night. Rise to reveal the Louvre Museum under construction. Scaffolding surrounds the half-built glass pyramid. The three thieves, tiny specks seen in shadow, race across the open ground. Gambit climbs the half-built pyramid and drops inside. Interior Louvre, west hallway, night. Inside, Gambit casually grabs a museum audio guide, slips on the headphones. Alan and Alphonse hurry to catch up.
Note the subtle grace of Raphael's brushstrokes.
Gambit turns a corner, Louis Vuitton bag in hand, reaching a Renaissance painting. Raphael's Saint Michael vanquishing Satan, angels fighting devil. Gambit starts a little stretching routine. He clumsily extends two police batons, forming his staff. Omar throws a puff of powder, revealing laser tripwires. Gambit then unzips his bag and pulls out a large boombox.
Time to make donuts.
He presses play. The opening bars of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. Loud. Alan and Alphonse look back as Gambit takes a running leap, planting his staff, and slips. Brrr. Alarms blare as Gambit skids across the floor and collides with the wall, dumbfounded. Instantly, a security protocol locks down the wing. Steel bars drop between Gambit and his partners. A plexiglass wall rises over the paintings. Gambit's teammates panic, trapped.
You useless rhino. Are you trying to get us caught?
Maybe. While the men panic, Gambit pops chewing gum into his mouth. He charges the gum and sticks it to the plexiglass. The gum explodes. Gambit rips down a painting. He then grabs a rising wall, abandoning his partners. Alphonse stares daggers trapped beneath the steel bars. You do this to your own kind? You're a disgrace. But Gambit just flips up and out through the window. Gone. Interior Le Bandouche nightclub, Paris, night. Music pounds. The painting now hangs in a Paris nightclub. We push through a Fellini-esque dance floor. Models, rock stars. Finally, we arrive on Gambit. In the bath, shirtless. Next to him is a dude on an inflatable raft wearing a giant rabbit head. A bald girl doodles on Gambit's naked back with a Sharpie. For all the fun, the light has gone out in Gambit's eyes. He looks bored as he shoots scotch with three models. Then Gambit spots a new girl walk in. A stunning Amazonian Frenchwoman. This is Jacqueline. Gambit eyes her. This looks interesting. She swims towards him and eyes him up to down.
Who is the woman on your arm? She is quite beautiful.
Gambit takes a drink, eyes the tattoo of a pinup girl on his forearm. Dark hair, a bit like Bella. He sounds wounded.
It's you, shit.
Interior, back booth, Le Bain Duché night. Gambit and Jacqueline make out feverishly in a dark booth.
I know this sounds crazy, but your hands, they're warm.
Jacqueline slowly takes Gambit's hand and puts it between her legs. She closes her eyes, tilting her head back. Cut to interior, Gambit's clock tower loft, Paris, dawn. A priceless Fabergé egg being used as a bowl for jelly beans. We're in Gambit's loft. The space is exciting and trashy, stolen artwork everywhere. Multiple TVs. Around them is the wreckage of a decadent party. Gambit lies in bed with Jacqueline. She rises, slips on into Gambit's shirt. She sits in a chair, legs crossed.
There's nothing sex in a woman wearing a man's.
Her body changes, shapeshifting into a man. Jacqueline is also Jake, the backer from last night. He's still in Gambit's shirt. Gambit bolts out of bed like a shot, stunned, mortified.
Oh my God. Do it. Do you?
Jake speaks English, his voice deep.
Anatomy change as well? Indeed.
Look, I'll get down with some freaky shit. This is on another level.
Gambit grabs Jake's Gucci purse, trying to get rid of him.
You need to take your little man purse and hell's this?
In the purse, a dossier on Gambit. Photos, Interpol record. As Gambit eyes the dossier, puzzled, two random models from the club wake up on the couch. The party followed him home.
Oh, pouvons nous faire des gaufres?
So, Shan, make yourself at home.
She turns back to Jake, who eyes the stolen Raphael on the wall.
Oh, relax. I didn't come to Gay Paris for Raphael and a one-night stand.
Gambit looks up from the dossier, so confused now.
You don't care about the paint.
My employer's not exactly an art lover. He wanted to see how good you were. And scruples or not, I think you could have robbed the Louvre in your sleep. He wants to hire you for a real job.
Gambit starts picking up Jake's heels and panties, annoyed.
I'll be honest, dude. You're a world-class slave, but whatever this is, I'm not the one who's supposed to get hustled.
Gambit starts throwing Jake's clothes out the window. Jake follows, stepping over the party wreckage.
You haven't even heard about the job yet. It's in New Orleans.
Nolans ain't got nothing worth stealing. Anyway, I ain't welcome back in the Pleasure City. My old crew
Are nearly all dead, all but wiped out by the Boudreaux.
As Gambit stops, suddenly reeling from that, a hungover couple emerges from the bathroom.
Avez-vous de talent, Remy?
couple of us saying, yeah, well, they made it clear it ain't my crew no more. So why don't you find yourself another?
My employer is acutely aware that of all great thieves in this world, only one has an honest motivation. He wants to pay you $40 million to rob Belladonna and her family.
Gambit, drawn in by that. Bella will always be his weakness.
Who's your boss?
Jake tenses slightly.
Sorry, I'm afraid my employer wishes to stay out of the spotlight.
You know, as appealing as his own sounds, some don't feel right. I think I'm gonna pass.
Jake sighs, pulls something from his purse. Behind them, a girl flips on the stereo, starting the party again.
My employer suspected you might say no. He asked me to give you this.
As Jake steps into the elevator, he hands Gambit a Betamax tape. Gambit eyes it.
Just a little personal message from him to you. He told me to tell you it's the answer to a question you've been asking for 10 years.
That really pisses Gambit off. Slams the elevator cage shut.
Okay, I'm not playing these bullshit mob games.
And if you do happen to change your mind, My flight leaves at noon.
The door is shut. The elevator descends. Jake leaves Gambit in the loft, the party coming back to life around him. As more people wake up, Gambit pops Alka-Seltzer in a glass of wine and drinks. He eyes the tape. Can't help himself. By the wall of TVs, the tape slides into a Betamax player. A fuzzy image plays on all the TVs. It's not a message. In fact, the tape is utterly silent. Black and white figures move jerkily on screen. It takes Gambit a moment to realize it's surveillance footage of Gambit's bank robbery. Gambit watches transfixed as the party carries on behind him. He sees Bella reject him, sees the families open fire, and the men start to flee. Gambit sees Maryanne doubling back. She silently steps up behind LeBeau and shoots him in the back. Gambit watches in silence. He knows who killed his father. Gambit's eyes harden. The whole moment plays out in Gambit's face. We see the determination, the will for revenge. Without a word, Gambit steps into the elevator, leaving the party and his lavish apartment behind. No one notices him go. Smash cut to exterior bridge, New Orleans day. Greasy funk plays. We glide over the churning Mississippi River, up and over the broken banks of the levee to reveal New Orleans is now underwater, like the ocean swallowed the city. Above the waterline, a car crossing the street, the steel trusses of the New Orleans Bridge. Jake's driving Gambit back into the city. Interior luxury van day. Gambit sits shotgun, drinking a beer. He stares out, troubled to see the grid of rooftops poke out of the water.
The hell happened here?
You should crawl out of that bottle you've been hiding in. There was that mutant Magneto.
I seen him on TV. Was that purple helmet like he's a glam rock band?
Jake cracks a smile, referencing the events from Apocalypse.
Yeah, apparently, he fiddled with the Earth's magnetic field, and the tides came up, broke 4 of the levees.
Gambit gazes at the tableau of surreal sights. Crawfish washed up on the causeway, a wild horse stranded on a rooftop.
City didn't get no Goldman, eh?
Jake spots 2 mutant kids walking along the overpass.
New York did. Down here, there's just too many mutants.
Gambit keeps staring out the window, notices something.
Pull over, for real, stop the car.
Remy, we've got a schedule to keep.
Gambit opens the door, forcing Jake to stop. Gambit steps out onto the causeway, removing his coat. Exterior overpass, edge of the bayou day. A passing car honks as Gambit walks to the edge of the causeway, sees his old neighborhood is now half underwater. Jake pulls to the shoulder. Gambit looks at the sunken bayou, nostalgic. He starts climbing up the railing.
That water is swimming with disease.
Gambit doesn't care. He dives. Exterior sunken bayou day. Gambit dives deep, then swims past telephone poles. He reaches a berm of tall sawgrass poking through the water. Gambit stands, pushing through the tall sawgrass to reveal exterior the boat, sunken bayou. The boat. His childhood home collapsed into the muddy swamp. We see sadness in his eyes. He steps over debris into the boat. Gambit's Gucci wafers squish waterlogged boards. He pads past broken hammocks onto the wet floor. A pool of water leads down to the sunken lower level. Gambit dives, looking for something. Underwater, Gambit swims past crawfish to the lower level. In a corner, Luke's old safe. Gambit touches the safe door, charging the metal underwater. He swims away fast as, boom, the safe door blows open. Luke's possessions float out, glittering. Paperwork, old tools, stray bits of loot. Gambit's suspended, watching memories of his father float past. He reaches out, snatching a ring floating by. Then Gambit spots a leather satchel drifting to the bottom. Gambit dives down and grabs it. As Gambit swims up, breaking the water's surface, cut to interior luxury sedan overpass. Water sluicing out the car door. Gambit sits down in the back seat, ruining the leather. He eyes the engagement ring. Up front, Jake watches in the rear view, shakes his head.
You really can't help yourself.
Gambit opens the satchel. It's Gambit's things from when he was a boy. Band-aids and loose trinkets. Gambit flips open a cigarette case. Inside, a rolled-up photo of Gambit as a little boy. He stands by elegant columns with a young couple. It's a photograph of Gambit's real parents. Gambit eyes it, and he speaks softly, won't reveal his true feelings.
What can I say? Really got me pegged.
Click. Gambit snaps the case shut, shoves it into his suitcase. Exterior, approach street, 9th Ward, day. Jake's car winds through the neighborhood, gutted by the storm. Houses are flattened, a bulldozer clears rubble. A train has been run off the tracks and lies nose first in the water. The car pulls to a single shotgun shack. It sits alone in the middle of the floodplain, like it fell out of the sky. Exterior, Henri's house, flooded 9th Ward, day. Outside, 6 barefoot kids wreak havoc, catching snakes, burning trash. A woman sits in a deck chair, eyeballing Gambit and Jacqueline as they approach. Gambit's fur coat is a high contrast to the squalor. He stumbles on a chicken.
What are we doing way down in the nines? Place is a pigsty.
Meeting the rest of your crew.
Jacqueline knocks. Gambit hears a voice.
Tien, you get some adult supervision. You're going to burn your eyebrows off again.
Hell no.
Too late. Doors open. Emerging from the house, Cousin Henri. He's aged hard. Overweight, bags under his eyes. He grins at Jacqueline, then sees Gambit. His face drops.
Wait, for real? You said you're bringing us a ringer.
He moves to close the door, but Jacqueline pushes through. Interior, Henri's house, flooded 9th Ward, day.
And I have.
Dude's just like he's on a safari.
First off, this shit's European.
Everybody's ready to leave. Jacqueline tries to defuse it.
Boys, this isn't a one-man operation, and no one reputable will work with any of you. Like it or not, you're the best men for the job.
The 2 men glower. So much bad blood between them.
I'll tell you what he is. He's a bad luck. Dude's a black hat walking under a ladder on Friday the 3rd.
Okay, this was a mistake.
Gambit's had it, walking for the door.
Yeah, good. Abandon us. I know that's your go-to move.
That comment infuriates Gambit. He turns.
Abandon you? Y'all abandon me.
Charlie emerges from the back and chimes in, voice soft, sad. You're right, Rem. We screwed up. That diffuses some of Gambit's anger. Charlie eyes their pathetic surroundings, speaking in earnest. Look, some shit got said that can't be unsaid. We're hanging by a thread here, man. Maryanne's rolling with some bad dudes, and if she gets her way, we'll be wiped clean off the map. Like the crew LeBeau never existed. We need you, bro. The emotional plea tugs at Gambit. He eyes Henri and goads him.
And we're going to apologize for pulling a piece on me?
Henri eyes him. The 2 cousins lock in a scowling contest.
I don't know. Are you going to apologize for choosing Bella over us?
Beat. Neither cousin says anything. Jacqueline audibly sighs.
If you've about wrapped this up, we have a surveillance run on the books.
Gambit just looks at Henri, growls.
Let's be straight about this. If we do this job, we ain't family no more. Just accomplice.
Fine by me.
Henri heads out for the car. Gambit follows, annoyed. Jacqueline transforms back into Jake and sighs.
Men and their egos.
Exterior, Domain Street, French Quarter, day. Jake's car winds through the French Quarter. The colorful streets where Gambit ran as a boy have changed. Now a decaying strip of tourists and gaudy neon. Interior, Jake's car, Domain Street, French Quarter. Gambit and Charlie gaze out of the French Quarter, and he sees the windows of the old whorehouse are now boarded up. The drummer from the Mutant band we saw earlier, pounding out second-line rhythms on a dirty bucket. You're welcome home, huh, Rem? Gambit takes it all in. Troubled Henri glances back.
So to understand this job, first you gotta understand the flood.
With the click-click of drumsticks, we flash to exterior, the boat during the flood, flashback. Storm clouds bump right into the bayou. The water level rises. On the balcony of the boat, 2 LeBeau cousins, Jacques and Belize, load up a canoe, trying to flee the house.
See where most of us saw chaos? Someone saw opportunity.
Behind Gambit's cousin, a dark shape under the surface of the water, slithering towards them like a water moccasin.
And when folks least expected it, boom.
A mutant explodes up from the water. He leaps, spinning in the rain, hands firing seismic bursts like shotgun blasts. The men gasp, falling back into the water, hearts stopping.
but the dirty little secret.
Thump. The killer lands on the roof. Meet Richter, 35, a Hispanic mutant assassin. Whoever ordered the hits was using mutants. Interior bar, flashback, day. Drumsticks click faster. A criminal loots a bar of his liquor. When he grabs the whiskey, a shadow behind him parts a curtain, revealing a mutant killer, Knock. He slips a garrote around the victim's neck. Interior causeway, interior truck, flashback. Honk honk, another victim is stuck in traffic in the pouring rain. He doesn't see a Kawasaki motorcycle speeding up on the shoulder. As he passes the truck, the unseen killer extends a hand.
It was 3 nights of blood and mayhem.
Boom. Richter fires a blast, killing the driver instantly. The drumming gets faster still. We cut to a barrel floating in the bayou. Crammed inside, the body of a guild politician we saw with Maryanne. Next, a man is pushed off a building. Our band of mutant killers, now seen in shadow, walk through the rain. Behind them is a burning building. Back to interior, Jake's car, alley, Storyville border, day. Gambit looks out the window to see Storyville has become fenced in. Out front, kids do handshake drug deals. Gambit squints. Was that a vial of green pills he just saw?
In 3 days, man, every neighborhood got hit. Garden District, the Mirigny, even Storyville.
Up above, we see the back wall of the facility that Gambit climbed as a teenager. It's been blown wide open. With a flourish of the drumsticks, we flash to interior mansion uptown, flashback. Rain keeps coming, a waterlogged mansion filled with art. 2 thieves enter, balding, wispy mustaches, total scumbags. These are the Vanisher twins, 40s.
They even hired these brothers out of Dallas, call themselves the Vanisher twins.
A third thief appears, an even bigger deadbeat than the others.
Reckon they ain't too bright, because technically there's 3 of them. Anyway.
Screen splits. On the left side of the screen is the mansion, on the right side of the screen is someone's living room.
The way I hear, these guys even cleaned out uptown.
As drumsticks roll, the 3 men grab art, jewelry, the TV, and teleport into the living room and back again. All 3 men over and over, out of breath, wheezing, lightning fast. The men bounce from one side of the split screen to the other until everything is dumped in the living room. Dazzling.
In 2 hours flat.
Exterior backyard, Boudreaux plantation, day. The sun rises, the storm passes as cargo trucks pull up to the Boudreaux plantation. Richter and mutant mercenaries line up at the back door.
And who was behind it all?
Maryanne shuts a briefcase full of cash. She's on the porch, paying off her mutant mercenaries.
No one knew. Maryanne killed her enemies and robbed the city blind in under 3 days.
Exterior, Boudreaux plantation, day. A van rumbles through the gates of the Boudreaux plantation. Behind it, Henri's Chevy is parked innocuously on the street.
Hold up. That hypocritical bitch is hiring mutants now?
Interior, Jake's car, day. Inside, our crew runs surveillance on the plantation. Yeah, things done changed, Ram. Guess Bella turned her around. On Gambit, thinking about Bella now.
Regardless, this was the biggest heist in city history. My employer was hit worse than anybody.
And now word is Maryanne's going to sell it off somehow.
You got any idea where she's keeping loot?
We got a real good hunch.
Gambit gazes at the compound, one thing on his mind.
Reckon Bella's in there too, huh?
The cousins share a look. Is this going to be a problem? Henri pulls out a manila folder, eager to change the subject.
Just check it out, man. I got a whole plan already worked up.
Inside, outlines of security systems, Henri's detailed plan.
Maryanne slapped fingerprint ID locks on all the doors in the main house. So first, we're going to need a fingerprint scanner.
Gambit scoffs, tossing away Henri's plan, taking control.
Whoa, Henri, do me a favor. Spare me your bunk ass, okay?
At that, Gambit gets out of the car, walks straight for the plantation. His cousins freak out, panicky whispers.
Dude, this is just a surveillance run. We ain't even brought guns.
I ain't over. I ain't ever neither.
Gambit hops the fence. Dropping into the Boudreaux compound, his cousins hurry after them, nervous trying to keep up. Exterior grounds. A Boudreaux security guard walks by, an Uzi under his coat. He stops, spotting a $20 bill in the grass. He reaches for it, and crack! The bill explodes in his hand. Gambit whips out from behind a wall. Thwick! Gambit cracks a baton into the guard's skull, knocking him out cold. Gambit moves past him after a cargo van leaving the house. Exterior grounds. Gambit stops, looking towards the oak alley on a long line of old slave quarters. Behind him, Henri and Charlie tiptoe onto the unconscious guard. Henri steals his Uzi. Charlie steals his watch.
She ain't started in the house.
Exterior grounds. Gambit and his cousins peer through the trees. Gambit can see the Boudreaux thugs unloading something from a van. Gambit dashes across open ground, gets close to the slave quarters, sees the thugs unload a pallet of green pills from the van. The pallet's marked with a hand-drawn double helix. Men lock the pills into the slave house, and Gambit looks puzzled.
Looks like she got her hands on drugs.
Henri looks momentarily uncomfortable. We're not sure why. Through the crack in the wall, the cousins see piles of stolen treasures. 22 slave houses filled with the city's wealth.
Okay, great. Now we found the stash. Can we please get up out of here?
Exterior Oak Alley. But Gambit's strolling up Oak Alley right to the house. Wait, Remy, where are you going? Henri knows instantly what's happening. Starts to panic.
Oh, no. Wait,
what the hell is he doing? Cut to interior kitchen, Boudreaux plantation day. Bella, listening to a Walkman. She lights the stove under the kettle. She's gone from punk to new wave, hair short blonde. As Bella opens the fridge, pulling out an orange, suddenly the hair on her neck stands up. Gambit's powers give her a static charge as he goes past her. Bella turns, pulling off her headphones. Her orange on the counter is gone. She looks up. Gambit's right there, standing in the corner, peeling her orange.
I like the hair. This whole Debbie Harry thing you got going.
An awkward silence descends. Bella pales, a dozen feelings at once. Gambit keeps peeling the orange, keeping it all inside.
Now, after all these years, you'd be a little more talk.
Said you were dead. What are you doing here?
Oh, you know, just making money and landing Dixie.
Bella glances at the silver pistol taped to her door cupboard, or to her open cupboard. She can see it, but Gambit can't.
Hope you know there's about a dozen boys back. They'll shoot you inside.
The water in the tea kettle starts heating up.
Yeah, so you have shot mission ready. Mama still got that Beretta in the cupboard there.
Bella refuses to be rattled. Gambit keeps peeling the orange.
I'm giving you a grace period till you tell me what the hell you want.
Little buddy told me you pulled off a real big stuff. I'm getting paid to steal it back. So I thought, how about y'all pay me double not?
Conversation is becoming a confrontation. Bella's on edge, the water in the tea kettle getting hotter still.
I see time ain't diminished that ego none.
If you're going to steal for a living, it's important to be honest about it. My daddy used to say that before your mama shot me in the back.
That really pisses Bella off.
Last I recall, you gave my cousin the double shuffle.
Gambit, still dead sure he did nothing wrong in that bank.
Well, now, that ball drew fire.
Then abruptly, Maryanne in the doorway stares daggers.
LeBeau.
Gambit eyes her. She's blonde now, too. He cocks his head.
Wait, so they all go blonde at the same time?
Kill him.
Gambit looks around. The Vanisher twins stand in the other doorway, and they step forward. Gambit just lifts the orange. The men all stop short. Weapon. One man snarls.
I don't care how fast he is. He can't kill all three of us.
Gambit wordlessly breaks the orange into 3 pieces. Deadpan. The men share a nervous look, a tense standoff. Then abruptly, the tea kettle screams. The twins glance over, distracted. Gambit ducks, hurling his charged orange. The twins all disappear as the cabinet blows apart. Bella snatches the gun, and when she looks up, Gambit's gone. Interior downstairs. Gambit running as fast as he can, all three twins suddenly appearing in the doorway, blocking his exit. Gambit darts up the staircase. Twins appear and disappear in front and behind him. Gambit knocks a twin off the stairs, but the twin disappears just before he hits the marble floor. Reappears over a couch, falling safely into the cushions. Gambit running as fast as he can into the bathroom, or the upstairs bathroom. Gambit scrambles for the window. Twin number one appears, fishhooks Gambit, 2 fingers in his mouth, pulling him backwards. Gambit and the 3 twins grapple, destroying the tiny bathroom. It's a hillbilly brawl at light speed, the fastest mutant-on-mutant fistfight we've ever seen. Gambit reaching for weapons, toilet paper, shampoo, towel, each time a twin appears, knocking them away. Then all 3 twins start appearing and disappearing fast. A blur of punches and kicks. The men breathe heavy. Finally, Gambit ducks, charging up the rug the twins are standing on. All 3 twins suddenly disappear, scared as... boom. Gambit dives out the window as the bathroom explodes. Exterior hedge maze, Boudreaux plantation day. Gambit lands, darting into the Boudreaux's hedge maze, the twins after him. Gambit knows the maze inside and out, darts to the far side. The twins just appear and disappear like rats in a maze. Lost. Exterior front yard. Gambit reaches a pink Cadillac parked in front of the house, frantically smashing a window, diving inside. As Gambit touches the exposed wire starting the engine, Vincent bursts from the house. The silk-shirted dandy shouts,
He's boosting my damn caddy.
Bella and Maryanne burst out into the doorway. Bella aims her pistol at the Cadillac, a split second of hesitation.
Fresh sake, shoot him, girl.
At the last moment, Bella aims left. Bang. Blows out the Cadillac's back window. Did she just miss on purpose? The pink Cadillac screeches out of the driveway. Interior, exterior, Oak Alley, and the Cadillac. Gambit speeds away. He spots Charlie scrambling out of the trees. Yo, wait up, wait up! Gambit throws open the car door. As the cousins dart in,
What's Henri?
boom. The back window shatters. Gambit looks back to see Richter speeding towards them on a Kawasaki, flinging concussive blasts. Gambit stomps on the gas. He sees the silhouette of someone running fast, whipping past the oak trees beside him. It's Henri. He races over to the car, frantically spraying the Uzi behind him. Gambit keeps driving, screaming.
Come on, Henri, move your hands.
Henri keeps running, legs pumping, chest heaving, until miraculously, Henri is running right alongside the Cadillac. Gambit hurtles forward, eyes on the speedometer. He's at 30 miles an hour.
Henri, what's up with this?
Henri proceeds to rip the back door clean off of the Cadillac. He climbs into the back seat of the car, heaving.
Oh, good. I'm using the Nordic track.
Exterior street. The car blasts into the street, skidding as it turns a corner. The Cadillac goes one way. Jake speeds off in the surveillance car, heading for the other direction. Richter's Kawasaki swerves, following Gambit into the city. In the stolen Cadillac, the cousins stare through the shattered window, watching Richter gain ground. A cacophony of panicked voices. Dude on the Kawasaki's coming in fast!
Take Ibersville, man. We got to get this car off the road.
Meanwhile, Gambit casually flips on the radio. He's used to being chased. He wants a soundtrack.
Did you seriously just do that?
The Cadillac skids, turning a corner, swerving out of the way as Richter blasts decimates 2 parked cars. Gambit lobs Vincent's possessions out of the sunroof, sunglasses, a hat, tapes. Behind him, Richter swerves around the explosions. On Richter, behind them, the assassin releases the bike's handlebars, flicking both wrists fast. A dozen seismic bursts travel ground level towards the car like torpedoes. Back in the car, Gambit swerves, struggling to dodge the blasts. As Richter gains on them, overtaking the car, Gambit spots something out the window. He gets an idea and swerves hard, careening straight for the front doors of the building.
Henri, seatbelt, seatbelt.
Remy, the hell are you?
Interior, lobby, police station, day. Wham! The caddy crashes straight into the lobby, stopping dead. Gambit and Henri cough smoke, dazed. Henri looks up and sees Gambit stepping gingerly out of the car, holding his hands up.
Hey, Daryl. Pete?
Gambit drove straight into the police station lobby. The cops who arrested him as a boy now stare in disbelief.
Is that Remy LeBeau?
Yeah, man. Don't you finally arrest my ass?
A beat. The stunned cops hurry towards Gambit with handcuffs. Exterior police station, New Orleans day. Outside, the Boudreaux pull up in Cadillacs, unable to follow. Richter turns circles. Vincent sees his demolished pink car and whimpers. Interior, Maryanne's Cadillac day. In the Cadillac, Maryanne eyes her daughter, vexed.
It's funny, Belle. If I didn't know better, I'd say you hesitated. Try putting a bullet in your childhood, sweetheart. See if you don't see if you don't flinch.
Vincent approaches the car. Maryanne speaks through the window. She eyes Richter and motions.
Get him out of here and round up Fifolet. I want Remy gone today.
Whoever Fifolet is, it gives Vincent a chill.
We can't use no one else, ma'am. Thief's got a real foul temper.
Then you'll just have to be polite.
Interior, Free Association corridors, Parish prison day. Tattooed prisoners stare as cops lead Gambit, Henri, and Charlie through an open holding cell. Gambit nods in casual greeting.
Sup, Dom? Sup, Shocky? You staying sober?
The dwarf shrugs. Meanwhile, Henri looks panicked, his eyes rolling around in his skull like he's about to be sick. Gambit, Henri, and Charlie are thrown into a cell with 5 other cons. On the bench is a blind man, Quiet Bill, 70s. He's nudged by his helper, 20s. Their accents are thick.
Amos, who that?
That Remy LeBeau. He the one that killed the man with that playing card.
Let's give him a wide berth.
Prisoners make room as the cousins sit. Henry's beginning to look terrible, sweating and cold.
I don't feel so hot, Ram.
Henri lies on the bench and shivers. Gambit knows instantly.
You want to tell me what you're getting high on?
What? Nothing. Think I got a bad piece of akar is all.
Come on. First, Maryanne's got her hands on the drug ship. Next minute, you go all Hulk Hogan. What is it, steroids?
Technically, it's a mutant genome.
Gambit and Henri look down at Henri, judgmental. Henri, you're taking that crap too?
You gotta be kidding me.
Downside is it's real short acting.
The hell are you thinking? You're gonna fry the one lonely ass brain cell you got left.
Henri looks up at Gambit, admitting.
I don't know. I guess I always wanted to do what you could do.
Gambit can't help but feel a little moved by that. Interior fishing village day. We're past the railroad tracks in a grimy industrial fishing village. Gaunt Chinese men stare through windows as the Cadillac pulls up. As Vincent emerges, out of place in a Miami Vice neon shirt. Vincent and a thug pull heavy duffel bags from the Cadillac, then a steel contraption like a washing machine. They start dragging the goods through a throng of zombie-eyed fishermen towards the pagoda near the water. A surreal sight. Interior, Fifolet's pagoda, fishing village, continuous. The men drag the goods into the pagoda. As they reach, Fifolet, a tattooed Chinese mutant in ghostly geisha makeup. He looks vaguely like an old kung fu master, hunching over, peeling shrimp with long fingernails. The thugs open a duffel bag, dumping stolen loot onto the table. Fifolet doesn't care, just keeps peeling the shrimp. The men share a nervous look. Vincent turns on the strange steel machine. It hums. Vincent reaches cautiously into Fifolet's bucket, dumps a handful of shrimp into the machine. A long, tense beat. A bead of sweat runs down Vincent's brow. Then at last, the shrimp emerge, fully peeled. It's an automatic shrimp peeler. Murmurs spread through the fishermen. They're stunned. The old assassin looks up with an eerie, painted face. He eyes the newfangled machine and nods. Okay, let's do this. Interior Free Association corridors, Parish prison day. A prison guard looks up to see Fifolet coming. He nervously reaches for his utility belt, keys jangling. A crowd of hard-bitten prisoners part as Fifolet's bare feet pad through the open holding pen towards Gambit's cell. As Fifolet advances, we see his long-nailed hand. An electric current passes through his fingers, crackling like a taser. Interior holding cell. Gambit's crouched, putting wet toilet paper on Henri's forehead. He doesn't notice. Behind him, out of focus, Fifollette appears in the cell door, passing through the bars, his body moving like an electric current through the steel.
I don't want you taking any more of that crap, all right?
Henri nods. Then, zap! Fifollette jabs a long-nailed hand into Gambit's neck. With a taser crackle, Gambit is down. The cell in a panic as Fifollette pounds on Gambit. The old mutant's face stays placid as the long-nailed slaps send jolts of electricity through Gambit's body. Gambit's veins are lifted through his skin. It's vicious, and it looks as if Gambit's done for. We hear a whistle. Fifollette looks up. An older man sits in shadow, previously unnoticed, raw-boned, wearing a dark suit. He's tall, statuesque, and pale. This is Nathaniel Essex, 50s. A young woman sits beside him, a tranked-out gaze. She wears a simple dress and 80s choker. Call her Alice, 20s. The blind prisoner, Bill, nudges his helper.
Amos, who that?
Amos shakes his head. Essex eyes Fifollette, still atop Gambit. Essex nods to Alice. Without a word, Alice gently pulls a pistol from her throat and slides it across the floor to Fifollette's feet. Huh? Alice gives Fifollette a sincere smile. She touches her temple like Xavier. Fifollette's eyes get that far-off look. Then he picks up the pistol, slowly puts it to his own head, and bang. Fifollette blows his own head off. His body falls to the floor. For once, Gambit's speechless. A scared murmur ripples through the prisoners.
Amos! Amos, who dead?
Criminals step back as the pistol slides over the floor like it's part of a Ouija board. Alice gently picks it back up. As Gambit stares at Essex dumbfounded, he begins to hear Essex's voice in his head. In contrast to the freaky telepathic violence, Essex's voice is casual and charismatic.
I think the words you're looking for. You're welcome.
Gambit eyes Fifollette's body, speaking out loud.
Whatever. I had him right where I wanted him.
Alice produces a shrill tone accompanied by Essex's voice. Gambit feels it hum through his mind as he's chastised.
Remy, privacy is really important to me, okay? I'm gonna have my assistant just put my thoughts right into your head.
Essex comes closer, a dust grime off the bench, sits. He doesn't want to be here. As Gambit looks him in the face, we hear,
Okay, all right.
The tone stops. Gambit stares at Essex. The two begin to have a telepathic conversation surrounded by scared prisoners. Gambit's a step ahead. He's already guessed who Essex is.
I'm gonna go all limb here. You're the one who sent me that tape. Those are your drugs Maryanne stole. That's what I was hired to steal back. Only you don't strap me as a drug dealer.
Essex nods. Very clever.
Close. I'm a geneticist. My businesses are manufacturing. And now, because you played it fast and loose today, the Boudreaux just wised up and moved all my stolen pharmaceuticals to a more secure location. Nice going, sport.
Oops.
Essex sighs out loud, frustrated, winding to his point.
Remy, let me ask you something. Do you know what killed Elvis Presley?
Elvis's face screws up. The other prisoners keep staring.
Just humor me.
He died on the toilet. So what?
Essex pulls out a very old, ornate Victorian pocket watch, winding it up as he speaks.
Some say it was drugs, but some say it was the loss of a woman he loved very deeply. His mother. After her death, Elvis became inconsolable, unmoored, alone. Then it was Benzedrine, girls, weight gain. His life became a race to zero.
What's your point?
Essex leans in. He speaks to Gambit almost sweetly, fatherly.
Remy, I hired you because I wanted an artist. I see so much potential in you. If you had some discipline, you could be one of the most powerful mutants the world has ever seen.
Gambit's face. He's drawn by that.
But I wonder, after everything you lost, if you don't feel a little unmoored, a little alone. I just hate to see you go down that same sad, self-destructive path, buddy. Which, judging by your performance today, is exactly what's happening. In other words, I'm afraid I paid good money for an artist, and what I got was Fat Elvis.
Essex has Gambit's number. But Gambit just glances at Alice, pretends he's not listening.
I bet this guy's assistant is just wild and bad.
Alice chimes in, an assistant jumping on a call.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing, honey. A random doctor snuck in there. You were saying something about Elvis.
Essex leans back, voice sharper.
Remy, it's time to stop screwing around. I don't have a lot of patience, so I'm gonna have Alice here put the plot straight into your head, okay?
Alice nods. As she looks blithely at Gambit, flash 2, interior speeding truck day. A cascade of images. We're in the back of a speeding truck with the Boudreaux stolen loot, priceless paintings, jewels, stacks of cash. We arrive at a battered metal trunk. We hear Alice's serene voice narrating.
Out of all the items stolen during the flood, only one is of real value, a trunk. We believe this trunk is now en route to a new location where it will be sold at auction. Your job will be to...
Back to scene. Just as Alice tells Gambit his mission, we cut out of the conversation. Now we're on Henri and Charlie. Gambit's cousins can't hear a thing. They only see Gambit and Alice silently gesticulating. Charlie whispers, "Dude, are you catching any of this?"
Nah, I'm just getting kind of Foxy Mansion vibe from Homegirl here.
Then, just as quickly, we're back in the telepathic conversation. Gambit looks at Essex and scoffs.
It's impossible. If I had a month to plan.
You have 4 days.
And should I even bother asking what's in this trunk?
Essex leans into the light. For the first time, we see a strange diamond-shaped surgical scar on his forehead. He appeals to Gambit, mutant to mutant.
Remy, ever since mutation was discovered, it's always been us versus them. People fear us. They hunt us. Then some mutants get pissed off and nearly destroys the world. Everybody panics, blah, 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 etc., etc. But then these drugs, if we all have a little mutant blood in our veins, there is no more us and them, no more stigma, no more hate. Mutation safe as apple pie. Now, my work can do that. So do your job, get back my trunk, and help me save mankind from itself, huh?
Gambit looks back at him, eyes a little darker.
And if hypothetically, I told you that what you're asking me to do is suicide, and that you can take that trunk and stick it up your ass.
Essex glances at Alice. The teeth are about to come out.
Then I'd have to show you just hypothetically what would happen to you and your Yahoo cousins and their families.
Suddenly, a violent image rips through Gambit's mind. A body dumped in the Mississippi. It's Jake and Jacqueline. Bound by chains, screaming, switching between male and female as she drowns. Gambit catches a chill. Essex still sounds oddly nurturing.
But Remy, amigo, I really don't want to do that. I've seen a lot of mutants come and go in my time, and like I said, with a little help, you could be spectacular.
Without a word, Alice puts the pistol in Fifolette's lifeless hand, making it look like he shot himself. Essex nods to her.
Alice, see that they leave unmolested.
Interior Free Association corridors. Essex exits the cell. As he walks through the prison, we see the prison population, along with anything not tied down, held 6 feet off the ground in suspended animation. Cut to exterior street, Palace of Chance, day. Bordeaux thugs unload crates of stolen loot from cargo vans. They move it to an old gambling house, security everywhere. On the steps, Maryanne oversees the operation. She spots the battered metal trunk amid the loot, motions to the guards.
Sorry. Not that one. Take it around back. Stick it down the vault. Savvy?
Guards nod, moving the case in through separate entrance. Then Maryanne spots a sedan pull up. It's Vincent, back from prison. He speaks to Maryanne through the open window, grim.
Someone intervened.
Maryanne growls, walking away considering her next move. Big thugs unloading crates. Maryanne approaches the diminutive godmother, looking bigger than the 3 men.
Boys, this family has been in business for a long time. I don't know why I'm British all this time. Hell, my great-grandmother was running whores back before Napoleon sold Louisiana. She always used to say, blood is thicker than mud. It means you disagree with how your family is run, but those ties, that blood is the only bond that counts. It means loyalty above all.
On Bella, knowing Maryanne is indirectly speaking to her, Maryanne narrows her eyes at the 3 big thugs.
But see now, you 3 aren't my blood. Outside my family, only you knew where we were keeping score. So I gotta ask, have you been loyal to this family?
Her tone changes. This is an interrogation. The men step back.
I didn't say nothing.
Hand to God.
And you got nothing to worry about.
Maryanne pulls her Beretta, casually keeping it at her side.
Bella, honey, search their heads.
The men look at Bella. Oh, fuck. Bella eyes her mother, uncomfortable, knowing full well this is a test.
Go on now. I know you value loyalty. Show us which of these men bad thing.
A tense beat. Bella approaches. They take tiny steps back as Bella's eyes roll up into her head. She reaches thug number 3. As he stares back at her, a soft voice like a whisper in her head.
Please don't tell. I'll give you half what I'm owed.
Bella looks at the thug, conflicted for a moment. Then Maryanne sees a dark spot growing in the thug's pants. Facing Bella, he's pissed himself.
I do believe we have our man. Thank you,
Maryanne,
darling.
Maryanne motions. Her men grab the traitor, forcing him to his knees. Maryanne puts her arm around Bella and walks off. Behind her, we see guns being pulled. Around the corner, the 2 women talk, sweetness returning. Somewhere, we can hear a street band playing jazz.
Well, this is going to be a mighty big week for us. I got to count on someone to handle this Renri business. I just got this hunch he's fixing to disrupt our festivities here. I won't lie, I don't got that same hunch. Well, we're gonna do what are we gonna do? You know the boy's got one weakness.
Maryanne cocks her head. You. Bella looks at her shoes.
That ain't true. Remy's got weakness for days. Don't be naive. You're the one gal he can't have. The only one is his equal. With your gifts and all.
A beat.
How come you call it what it is? I don't know. I don't think I once heard you use the word mutation.
Maryanne makes a little face. We get a tiny hint that maybe she's still uncomfortable around mutants.
I don't know. To my ear, the word sounds so unseemly. Hell, all of us Boudreaux women got intuition. You're just a touch more involved is all.
Bella looks away.
Be a big help if you told me just what Remy's planning. I just know with that brain of yours, you can run circles around that boy.
Bella nods, drawn in by that. Interior Bella's car, day. Bella puts on a pair of sunglasses and lies down. Slowly, her consciousness begins to leave her body. It looks like an apparition forming behind her. She's astral projecting. Her head lolls to one side as exterior New Orleans street, day. We're with Bella's consciousness as she leaps from body to body. Across the street, she hears two tourist women chatting.
Oh,
Bella leaps into their bodies next. We keep traveling through New Orleans, Bella's consciousness leaping from body to body, following snippets of dialogue, searching for Gambit. Finally, she sees Henri's wife, Charity, exiting a store, walking to her car. Exterior, Henri and Charlie's house continuous. Back at the house, Charlie throws a suitcase into the car, eager to leave town. His two kids wait in the back seat.
Oh, come on, be reasonable.
Oh, man. Got a little geisha dudes blowing their brains out. We got telepathy. I'm out.
I ain't even told you the job yet.
Okay, what's the job?
Whatever Maryanne took, she's gonna auction off at the thieves' ball. We just gotta break in and get it.
Charlie blurts out a laugh. He shuts the trunk and heads for the front. Henri glances at Gambit, pale.
But you told him robbing the ball's impossible, right?
I mean, I thought it at him, yeah.
Henri walks around the car, tries a final plea.
At least wait and see if Remy's got a plan. If we do pull this off, we'll be set for life.
Charlie looks at his cousin a little sadly. Henri, I love you, but this is some mutant shit, man. If you had any sense, you get in this car too. Gambit can't help but feel hurt. Henri looks around. His pride won't let him leave New Orleans.
And go where? Houston? Nah, defend the turf. We always said, LeBeau, I gotta kiss that. LeBeau's don't run from nothing.
Maybe that's why we're all dead. With that, Charlie shuts the door and drives off, passing Charity as she approaches. Gambit and Henri are left standing alone in the massive empty field. The cousins share a glance, knowing they're all that's left of the once mighty family.
You do got a plan, right?
Interior kitchen, Henri's shotgun house, day. Gambit and Henri are cooking up their plan now, list of names and sketches on the wall. Outside, Charity approaches, stands in the doorway unseen. She looks sick, like she's about to throw up, and if we look closely, we see her eyes. Bella's eyes.
Our biggest problem is gonna be breaking in. That ball's got buku security.
I got it. What about staging a raid? I know this group of classically trained actors. We got them all in cop uniforms, right?
Gambit rolls his eyes, dismissing another one of Henri's plans.
We're not using shells and plants, Henri. It ain't my style. By the way, did it look to you like maybe Bella packed on some weight? She was looking kind of husky.
Abruptly, Charity hurls a beer bottle at them. Henri ducks.
Charity? The hell's wrong, girl?
Interior Bella's car, day. Bella sits up quick, pissed off, back in her body.
That dick.
Interior Henri's house, day. Gambit's pencil crosses names off the list. They're making a list of possible accomplices now.
We need a crew.
Gambit starts doodling, drawing diamond shapes all over over and over.
Well, Maryanne's got most of Storyville. Maryanne's got most of Storyville on the payroll, but I do have this one mutant hookup.
Gambit tenses. Still has issues with his own mutanthood.
We're not using mutants, Henri. You can't trust.
You do realize how insane that sounds. You're a mutant.
Case in point.
Henri starts to freak out a little.
Jesus, Remy, we got 4 days. Charlie's gone. Only way to pull this off is with mutant skills.
Gambit's face? Fair point. He growls.
Fine. 5 minutes. Then we're gone.
Exterior, French Quarter Street, day. Harry, 50s, a silver-skinned statue, stands on a milk crate. Folks pass by, putting dollars in his hat. Henri sticks 100 in, and Harry looks down, speaking very slowly.
That's real generous, Henri. You got something on your mind?
This dude talks like he's had a stroke. It's going to take all day.
Harry hears that and frowns down at Gambit.
See, that's the problem with folks today. Always galloping through life. I find you want to get things done, you gotta slow it down.
As Harry steps off his crate, the world around them speeds up. Tourists walk 3 times as fast. The band's performance becomes a blur. Harry now moves at normal speed, walks casually to the cafe table, sits, and starts unwrapping a silver pack of certs.
All right, now that we're all on the same wavelength, how can I help?
Gambit and Henri sit as the world speeds past. Surreal.
We're looking for some mutants to take on Maryanne Verdu.
He taking on the godmother. Not a lot of mutants willing to die on that hill.
Harry cocks his head like he's listening to the world rushing by. He speaks with a mystical Southern Gothic vibe.
But I might know one or two. In fact, I hear a few gathering in Storyville as we speak.
How do you know that?
Harry just motions to the world rushing past.
I listen to the city, boy. I hear it whisper. I can hear how many babies are being born in this parish. 7. And I hear the 3 folks dying in their beds. I even remember way back the city telling me about you. A very talented child living in a hovel under the levee.
It gives Gambit a chill. Harry cocks his head, listening.
Only funny thing, the city won't tell me nothing about your kin. It's like you just appeared right there on Skid Row.
We used to say his ass crawled right out of a swamp.
Well, guess some secrets even Nolans don't know.
Gambit checks his watch, sees the hands moving 3 times as fast.
Yeah, well, I stopped caring about that origin crap long ago. Now we're losing time. You got a name for us or what?
Careful, Henri. Bad juju from this one.
Harry uses a silver pen, scribbles a map onto a business card.
Go to the revival tents down by the swamp. I hear a girl there might be able to help you out.
Much obliged, Harry.
Harry walks back to the milk crate. People speed past.
Come back and see me anytime, Henri. World keeps turning.
When Harry steps back under the crate, the world slows back down to normal. Harry smiles at Henri, the statue, once again.
I'll be right here.
Exterior Bayou Church tents, day. A Spanish moss hangs off of the banyan trees. Henri's Chevy pulls up to white church tents on the bayou's edge. Interior, Bayou Church tents, day. Gambit enters to see a preacher shouting fire and brimstone as parishioners pass around a collection plate. And then John saw a great beast rise up out of the water.
Tell it, brother, tell it.
Beast that made the earth tremble and the wind blow. Folks holler as wind starts blowing around the church tent. The water in the baptismal font congeals into black blood. Parishioners scream as clawed-winged hands reach up from the fountain. The black blood congeals to form the shape of a demon. It crawls out of the fountain like a living nightmare.
The devil's among us. He's here.
As the parishioners gasp and point, Gambit spots a young mutant girl in the corner, Dani Moonstar, 21, rocking as she creates the illusion. The demon looms over the preacher. He pulls across from the pulpit, trying to cast the devil out. I say, get behind me, Satan. You are nothing but a hindrance to me. The demon only grows bigger and nastier. The preacher shoots a scared glance at Dani. The illusion is going too far. I said, get behind me, Satan. The illusion's out of control. Bat-like wings sprout from the demon's back as it bellows up to the heavens. With a swing of a claw, it turns the pulpit to splinters. Parishioners drop the collection plate in panic, grabbing their children, running out of the tent. In the chaos, Dani opens her eyes. The illusion suddenly vanishes, but it's too late. The suckers are all gone. Exterior Bayou Church tents, day. The preacher angrily drives off, leaving Dani behind.
What about my money, you chiseler?
The preacher's gone. Dani turns, frustrated. As she trudges away, she spots Gambit and Henri beside her RV.
I respect the hustle, kid. Next time, wait till they finish passing around the hair.
Dani eyes Gambit. She's aloof, but with the inner toughness of a kid who's been living on the street.
You police?
Do I look like police?
Dani eyes his flamboyant leather vest.
You look like a gigolo. What do you want?
Gambit coolly turns a roll of bills from his vest, tosses it.
So what illusions can you do, honey?
Interior, Dani's tram car, night. In the trailer, Dani pulls two long necks from the fridge. She eyes Gambit, still suspicious. Dani pours the second beer for her pet bulldog. The dog slurps it up. Henri gives Dani a puzzled look.
It's cool. He's an alcoholic.
Dani takes a swig.
Here's the easiest. I do spiders, snakes, gators. Oh, fear of heights, drowning. I do that one where you show up in school with like no pants on.
Damn, I'm starting to dig this girl.
I can use two wishes, but those don't usually pay the bills.
Gambit and Henri share a look, intrigued by that.
We can work with that, but I need to know how good you are. Why don't you show me what I should know?
Dani smiles, puts her beer down, and looks to the bathroom. The shower turns itself on with a squeak. We cut back to Gambit, now alone in the trailer, sitting in a chair. He watches, stuck in place, as the shower curtains slide open and a lithe figure emerges. It's Bella. She's dripping wet, sheer dress clinging to her bare breasts. Gambit sits there, staring at her body, frozen. Bella approaches, trailing wet fingers over his jeans. Bella straddles him, water going everywhere, putting his hands on her breasts, and she leans in and whispers into his ear.
Sorry, baby, I'm just dripping wet.
Hard cut to reality. Gambit sits in the chair, aggressively petting Dani's bulldog until its eyes bulge.
Remy? Dude.
Gambit drops the bulldog and looks at Dani, impressed.
You got any friends, Stray?
What other kind of skills you looking for?
Exterior street, abandoned house, Storyville, day. Two mutant street kids step out of a condemned shotgun shack. Jamie Madrox, 20s, wiry, twitchy, shaved head, and mask. 20s, meek, his scarred face hidden by a hoodie. The kids throw duffel bags and a sawed-off shotgun into the old Nissan, driving off.
They're smash and grab guys. Call them yourselves, or call themselves the four-man wrecking crew.
We pick up on Henri's car, following them out of Storyville. Interior, exterior, Henri's car, day. Our crew follows, and Gambit drives. Dani eyes Mask and Jamie.
The kid with the sandpaper face goes by the name Mask. He's good with disguises, but his buddies, this dude I ran some cons with, Jamie.
Hold up. If they're the full man wrecking crew, where are the two other guys?
That part you should see for yourself.
Exterior, Zale's jewelry store. Diamond necklaces glitter in a jewelry store window. The car screeches up. Jamie and Mask rush out, psyching themselves up for a Dog Day Afternoon-style robbery. Jamie grabs the sawed-off shotgun from the trunk. Mask touches Jamie's face. Jamie's face contorts, his jaw widening. It's subtle, but Jamie now looks like a different person. As Jamie shuts his eyes, two identical doubles are ejected from his back. Their two-man crew is now four. The doubles also grab guns and hammers. The whole four-man crew then runs into the jewelry store. Across the street, Gambit watches. He leans against a pole, idly shuffling cards between his hands.
What?
Gambit and Henri approach the store window, watch the robbery. They see Jamie number 1 hammering the glass cases, grabbing diamonds. 2 more Jamies, a shot at the shop girl.
Open the vault, lady. Do it. Think we're fooling around?
Gambit eyes the vault, the jewels. His expert eyes pick up details we can't see. He looks at Henri and sighs.
Jesus, I can't bear to watch this.
Gambit walks right in, stopping the robbery himself. Interior Zale's jewelry store. Gambit walks into the jewelry store, hands up.
All right, cut.
The Jamies all whirl, confused.
What the hell are you doing? You stop right there.
Easy, guys. This your first robbery?
Meanwhile, Mask shouts at the scared employee. You! Open the vault! Open it!
She can't open the vault, partner. You see that plaque in the corner? Says consolidated.
Mask eyes the little plaque on the vault marked Consolidated.
It's short for consolidated time block. Means the vault's on a time. It won't open until quitting time. Also, those are cubic zirconias. You just set off the alarm over a handful of fake diamonds.
The Jamies all look sheepish.
True? For real?
The employees all nod profusely. Exterior street, Zales, continuous. Gambit exits the store. He joins Henri as police sirens whine in the distance. The cousins cross the street, skeptical.
Dudes look a little green. What are the chances we survive this thing?
A few raggedy-ass mutants against an army of criminals. Vegas wouldn't touch those.
Exterior, Storyville slums, day. A homeless mutant sleeps in the slums, surrounded by junky RVs. Around him, folks preparing for Mardi Gras. A sedan pulls up. Amy emerges with a case. Gambit's money. She crosses to the team's base of operations, Dani's tram car. Interior, Dani's tram car. Inside, Alice enters to see Jamie, Mask, Dani all seated. Henri unrolls a sheaf of blueprints marked Palace of Chance. Alice hands Gambit the money. She eyes the young crew, miffed.
What are you, robbing at Chuck E. Cheese?
Gambit rolls his eyes. As he addresses the crew, Alice stands in the shadows, taking everything in.
All right, guys, listen up.
The crew quiets down.
In 2 days, the 6 of us will do something that's never been done. We're going to rob the Thieves' Ball.
Jamie and Mask instantly light up. Righteous.
Always wanted to get invited to that.
Dani glances around, confused, raises her hand.
Sorry, the thieves. What?
Ball. It's like if the underworld threw a party.
It's the biggest. Sit down south of the Mason-Dixon. A bunch of folks getting together to divvy up territory and auction off loot.
It's going down in 2 days. Using Mardi Gras as the cover.
Exterior, Storyville slums, day. Out on the street, the homeless mutant begins to quiver. His body seizes up. For a moment, we don't know what's happening. Then his eyes roll back into his head, becoming Bella's eyes. The mutant jerkily stands up, turns towards Dani's RV. Inside Dani's tram car. Inside, Gambit and Henri are oblivious. They address the team off the set of blueprints marked Palace of Chance.
The ball itself is going on here.
Gambit nods and draws an X on the blueprints.
They got a great big head down in the basement right there. There's more loot in that safe than anywhere else in America.
Team's eyes fill with dollar signs. Jamie's skeptical.
Okay, sure, but how are we even supposed to get in? Well, I had an idea. Y'all know that shape-shifting blue chick? She was on the news a while back.
No one knows Henri is talking about Mystique.
A blue chick? What blue chick?
Well, she was helping the mutants.
Wait, like sad blue or blue blue?
Well, she was helping the mutants after the storm. I could put a feeler out. I mean, we got her to pretend to be you.
Gambit puts up a hand, stopping his cousin.
Whoa, Henri. We only have 2 days. We ain't got time to hire some random ass blue chip.
Henri sighs, annoyed. As the cousins argue, no one notices Mask get up and walk stiffly to the blueprints.
Fine. You got a better idea?
Trust is always an issue for Gambit. He touches his forehead.
I got a whole plan up here. All you need to know is I got it in with the folks catering the ball. We cut them in. They provide the cover.
The team nods.
Caterers. Got it.
Then Jamie glances at Mask. For some reason, the young mutant is now facing the wall. No one sees that he looks ill, his eyes agape like he's possessed. Bella is watching.
Catch that Mask? We're going in as caterers.
Mask shudders as his own eyes return, oblivious. Okay. Cool. Interior, Bella's Cadillac. Down the block, Bella lies in the back seat of her Cadillac. Her consciousness returns to her body. She shudders, waking up. Maryanne sits up front, smiles down.
Are we good, honey?
Bella has just seen everything.
Yeah, Mama. We're good.
Fade out. Exterior French Quarter, various, dusk. Cut between colorful Mardi Gras processions, tourists drinking, mermaid floats, dancers in red feathers. Exterior, Palace of Chance, dusk. On the outskirts of the French Quarter, the Great Hall is silent but for a dozen luxury cars pulling up out front. The Thieves' Ball has begun. Exterior, catering van, street, dusk. A white van glides through traffic. On the streets around it, tourists throw beads from balconies. Interior van, dusk. We're in the back of the van. Gambit and his crew wear catering uniforms. They're surrounded by road cases, presumably catering equipment. Gambit addresses his team: Henri, Dani, Alice, Jamie, and Mask.
Remember, the ball lasts exactly 4 hours. We'll wheels up by 10:30.
No one sees Henri chew up a green pill, giving himself a boost. Exterior, New Orleans streets, dusk. In a car, 6 Boudreaux thugs watch while the white catering van pass.
We got eyes
We
on the
got
Cajun.
eyes on the Cajun. You still want it done?
Interior, Bella's Cadillac, dusk. Down the block, Bella and Maryanne sit in the Cadillac. Maryanne holds a radio. A beat.
Do it.
Maryanne puts the radio on the dash. Beside her, Bella stares at the radio for a long beat, feeling deeply conflicted. Exterior New Orleans streets, dusk. As the van drives, cars screech up, blocking the van, surrounding it, pointing Uzis. The driver looks terrified.
Out of the van, now, now.
Thugs spring up from their cars. Maryanne's Cadillac screeches up. She watches her men rip the van doors open to reveal a crew of bewildered caterers, hands up. Gambit is not there. Cut to interior, identical van, dusk. Gambit with his team in the back of an identical white van. They hear 2 thumps on the back door.
What?
Gambit opens the giant road cases. The cases are full of musical instruments, saxophones, drums, tubas. Henri looks down at his catering outfit, dumbfounded.
We ain't caterers?
Nope. Roadies.
Gambit kicks open the van doors to reveal exterior side entrance, Palace of Chance. The Storyville Singers from the Guild Hall night, waiting near the gambling hall service entrance. They're part of a large orchestra of musicians. Remy, where you at, boy? Yeah, come on, get your ass inside. The band hands over the Mardi Gras costumes, masks, feathers. Gambit distributes the instruments. The team struck dumb.
Wait, you intentionally?
Lie to you? Yeah. No one knows a plan but me. Plus caters has been done like a billion times.
Crew approaches the side entrance, entering with the band. Exterior Cadillac, New Orleans Street, dusk. Maryanne and Bella hurry back to the caddy. Maryanne shoots Bella the mother of all dirty looks. She growls.
Why am I growling? Oh, shit, sorry. You told me this was handled. I'll read the boy's mind, you said. I didn't say that. I said I've never been able to read Remy's mind. His thoughts race around like about a million miles an hour. He's too squirrely. Christ's sakes, Belladonna. Look, he told me his whole crew, they were going in with the caterers.
Maryanne reaches the car, shaking her head, realizing.
So he lied to his team to get to you. The boy's got you wrapped around his little finger.
Two women get into the car. Bella looks humiliated. Interior service hallway, Palace of Chance, night. Inside the gambling hall, Gambit and his crew hurry down a dark service hallway as part of the orchestra. The whole team eyes Gambit, pissed.
You know, I don't appreciate being made into the mark.
Sorry, but we're dealing with a sidekick. Bella's too good. You have to bleed the plan until the last second. Otherwise, it won't work.
Wait, so like anything you tell us, you're basically telling her?
See? She's gone.
How are we supposed to pull this off if you won't trust your own crew?
Gambit opens a duffel bag. Inside are stacks of sealed envelopes. He hands a stack to each teammate.
These are instructions. Open them exactly when you're instructed. That way, Belle can't get ahead of us.
Alice flips through her envelopes. Step 1, 9:45 p.m. Step 2, 9:58 p.m. Gambit's planned the heist like clockwork.
Nathaniel did not agree to this.
Tell your boss if he wants me to do a job, I do it my way. Y'all can open the first one there.
The teammates tear open their envelopes. We see Jamie step 1, go back to the shop and play cards. Henri step 1, climb out the window. Henri turns, sees a window behind him.
Man, this plan is fucked up.
Interior lobby, Palace of Chance, night. Crews of criminals enter under the grand staircase. A crew of dignified Japanese gangsters surrender pistols to the weapons check. These are the Hand, gangsters from the Wolverine.
From Japan, Mr. Godo of the Hand.
The gangsters join the crowd. Maryanne, Bella, and her crew enter. Maryanne leaves her fur coat with the checker.
Start checking the suites upstairs and let's assume he's already inside.
The men move off. Maryanne pulls Bella into a quiet corner.
I know you have a soft spot for that boy, and I get it. He's a real smooth talker.
Then Maryanne hardens. We see some of the menace come out.
But Belle, I swear if you jeopardize this family over some teenage infatuation. Okay, it's not what is happening. Okay, that's not what's happening. Then you find him and you do everything in your power to break him down. Are we clear? Mama, what are you asking me to do?
Maryanne unbuttons the top button on Bella's shirt, revealing a little cleavage. Her mother sounds like a pimp.
Whatever you have to do.
On Vincent, further down the lobby. He's dressed like Don Johnson, eyeing girls at the ball. He spots Bella heading up the stairs. Maryanne approaches him, voice soft.
Your cousin's handling the Cajun. I want you making sure she keeps her eye on the ball.
Exterior side of building, Palace of Chance, night. Gambit and Henri have gone out the window. Now they climb the outside of the building, just like when they were kids. Gambit climbs with preternatural grace. Only now,
You need me to slow down?
Henri, high on mutant dope, is climbing right beside him.
Nope.
The cousins pass windows overlooking a lavish auction hall. Interior auction hall, Palace of Chance, night. Inside, the auction hall is the centerpiece of the ball. Think of an opera house as if it was filled with members of every crime syndicate in the X-Men universe. Gangsters lounge at the tables or in opera boxes. An orchestra plays in the pit. On stage is an Italian at a podium. Beside him, a pallet of green pills pushed up through the floor via elevator.
The next item for bid. Nutrazopine, street name Substance X. Bidding begins at 900,000.
Interior, backstage, Palace of Chance. Gambit and Henri emerge from the high window, climbing into the catwalk backstage. They peer down at an army of criminals in the auction hall. Henri looks cowed. Gambit looks confident.
Jesus. There must be 20 crews down here.
All part of the play.
Gambit looks puzzled as Maryanne approaches the stage below. Interior auction hall. As the auction continues,
1.2 million going twice so to the man in the shark skin suit.
and Maryanne takes the mic, interrupting.
Sorry. Meow. Meow. Ladies. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to interrupt. It seems tonight we have an uninvited guest. Arim and LeBeau.
On the floor, translators relay in a multitude of languages.
This man may have already robbed some of you, and tonight he aims to disrupt our negotiations. Now, I don't care for strangers in my house, so I'm offering a bounty. $1 million to whomever brings me the Cajun's head.
Interior catwalk backstage night. High above, Gambit and Henri are trying not to panic.
Okay, we might have to skip a few steps.
Then Gambit glances down at the owner's box. The curtain is closed. It sets his radar off. He starts climbing up a rope.
Head to the laundry room and open step 5.
Wait, step 5? What are you doing?
Improvising.
With that, Gambit lifts himself up into the rafters. Gone. Interior lobby. Now we're back in the lobby, leaping from body to body. We're in one of Bella's astral projections. She jumps through the bodies of various criminals up the grand staircase into the mezzanine, searching for Gambit. Bella's actual body lies in an opera box with a curtain shut, her eyes empty as she astral projects. Interior hallway. In the hall outside, Vincent stands watch. He spots two gangster moles exiting the box. Vince fixes his hair and steps away. Vincent leaves his post, and Gambit slips into the box behind him. Interior owner's box. Bella keeps astral projecting as the auction plays out below. After a moment, a finger enters frame, tapping Bella on the shoulder. Bella shudders into wakefulness. Her eyes return, and Gambit is sitting in the chair across from her. Casual.
Looking for me, Shay?
Bella lets out a little sigh. She sees Gambit is now wearing a flamboyant woman's fur coat. Bella playing it cool.
Remy is still a threat to good fashion since I see.
You think? Because your mom's.
Bella glowers, realizing he stole her coat from the checker.
Okay, I'm not going to play these games with you.
I just need some intel, look. I don't like working a job unless I know what I'm stealing.
And you got so little respect for me, you think I'll just tell you?
Well, someone less manly than myself might say you owe me.
That really pisses Bella off. She pushes off of the table.
I don't know you shit. Now, unless you got something for me.
I think I have something you want.
Bella stops, hovering at the table. Gambit lowers his voice.
What you've always.
He taps his forehead like a look inside my head.
Oh, I see. You're going to pull back the curtain and dazzle me with the intellect, huh?
Gambit speaks in a soft tone he reserves for seducing women.
Why don't we make a game of it? You answer a question, I give you a peek in my head. Be like when we used to play strip poker.
Bella looks at him, secretly kind of intrigued by that.
Only with your thoughts.
Gambit smiles at her. Bella drinks her beer, then sits back down. Gambit is, after all, her weakness.
All right. I'm game. Shoot.
Except under the table, Gambit's leg is inching a little closer to Bella's leg, and Bella's hand pulls a blade hidden out in her belt buckle. Up top, they play, unsure whether to kiss or kill each other.
First question. What did y'all steal from X's during the flood?
That's a lot of drugs. Hand to God.
I don't think so. You know anything about the drug game? Drugs themselves are cheap. Exits ain't paying me no $40 million to steal something that costs nothing to make.
Now Bella looks puzzled. Good point.
He's paying you 40 mil.
Sure is.
He's paying you 40.
Sure is. So then do you think maybe?
Well. I feel the question mark coming on. Now I answered, and that means you got a strap.
Well, all right. Fair is fair.
Gambit stares at her. As Bella's eyes roll back, Gambit finally lets her into his head. Flash 2 interior New Orleans slums. Suddenly, we're dumped into Gambit's head, and it's a dark, scary place. Images come fast in a rush. We see a 6-year-old Gambit living on the streets. First, he's beaten by police, then he's chased by a shop owner. He eats from a dumpster, brushing maggots off a rotten meat. Then suddenly, we're at the police station steps. Gambit and Bella are kissing, their lips creating a static spark. It's the only sweet moment in all of the darkness. Adult Gambit looks at Bella across the table. Bella opens her eyes, thrown. She wasn't expecting that kind of intimacy.
That's one of my favorites.
Bella takes a drink, regaining her composure.
Okay, very smooth. Next question.
If it ain't drugs, then either you lied to me.
I ain't lying.
Then maybe someone's lying to you. It's a big crew. Could be whatever's down in that vault so big. They even keep it in a secret from their own kin.
Bella's annoyed, but the question sticks to her.
No, and I don't know what you're trying to do, Remy, but it won't work. No, that's 2. Strip.
Gambit pushes away his beer. As he shuts his eyes, Flash 2, interior bank floor, Federal Reserve. Suddenly, we're dropped into the middle of the bank robbery. Gambit and Bella are together on the bank floor like Bonnie and Clyde. They've just been outed as mutants. Their families stare at them, stunned. Gambit is remembering the job that went bad. It's horrible. On the bank floor, Gambit looks at Bella.
It's gonna be all good, baby. Just tell me you'll lie to me.
Bella looks back at him. It's the look that broke Gambit's heart. Gambit is showing Bella that look on her own face. Interior owner's box.
That's one of my worst ones.
It's not fair.
Gambit keeps staring at her, cutting to the heart of their issues, showing real vulnerability.
Why couldn't you say it, Belle? We could have had everything.
Bella's eyes are prickling with tears.
Is that your question?
Yes.
He's here to talk about them. Bella struggles with the words, admitting her mistakes, but still casting blame on Gambit.
I just kind of froze. It was a chicken shit thing to do. Guess I saw a different side of you that day, a darker side, and it scared me, and I didn't feel safe with you.
She's fully expecting Gambit to be defensive, but instead he just looks at her, finally admitting.
You're right. I was an asshole. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry too.
She takes a last rueful drink, points at his head.
Now you owe me one more.
As Gambit just keeps staring at her, instead of seeing a rushing and colliding of images, we close on Bella. She's overwhelmed, her voice barely a whisper. Their hands almost touch.
What's that?
Those were my expectations.
He's just shown her the life they could have had together. As Bella is last moved to tears, Gambit leans in and kisses her. Bella kisses him back hard. He presses her up against the leather of the booth and hands running up her legs. As the couple make out feverishly, we begin to hear Walter Martin sing to me. Slam to interior upstairs brothel room. Bella slams Gambit into a wall, knocking over a lamp. Gambit rips off her jacket, finding 2 of Bella's knives. Gambit throws the knife into the corner, then slams her back against the wall, knocking over a chair. His hands run up her dress, finding 2 more knives strapped to her leg. Gambit throws the knives away, runs his hands along her back. If we look very closely, we might see Gambit slip something into her back pocket, like a pickpocket. Blink and you miss it. At last, they break the kiss.
You know what the hottest part of it is?
Bella smiles. Gambit looks her up and down. She looks luminous.
You never looked more beautiful.
All at once, Gambit slides zip ties around her wrists and the bedpost, and he knocks twice on the wall. A door opens. Alice steps in, pointing a pistol at Bella. She cocks her head, and even now, Alice sounds disturbingly cheerful.
Hey.
Bella just looks at Gambit, floored.
I was part of the job.
Gambit shrugs. He sounds guarded, cryptic.
You asshole. Everything you said downstairs was a lie.
Well, now, just because I lied doesn't mean it won't true.
Bella growls. Gambit turns and motions to Alice.
Gambit. I mean, if you had the deal's off.
Alice nods. As Gambit exits, Bella takes a parting shot.
I'm gonna indulge in that death wish.
Interior hallway. Gambit walks away down a hall. He checks his watch. 9:59 p.m. As Gambit starts climbing into the hall laundry chute, cut to exterior fire escape. Out on the fire escape, Dani's trying not to panic. She looks at her envelope. Step 2, 10 p.m. Bong! The clock tower in a church across the street begins to chime. Dani rips open the envelope. We don't see the contents. We just see Dani roll her eyes. Interior hallway. Dani creeps inside. She opens a laundry chute, stares down at the blackness inside, takes a deep breath, and jumps in. Interior basement laundry room. Poof. Dani tumbles down the chute, landing in a basket of linens. She tenses as strong hands quickly pull her out, but it's Gambit and Henri. The team's together in the basement.
Round schedule.
Interior Bella's opera box. Now we're on Vincent, hair ruffled. He returns to Bella's booth, slipping through the curtain.
Any luck, Belle? It's like that boy just vanished into thin.
Stop short. The booth is empty. Bella's vanished too. Interior Maryanne's opera box night. Downstairs, the auction continues. 3 beautiful bronze Rodin sculptures emerge from the freight elevator.
Lot 47, 3 sculptures by Rodin. Bidding begins at $6 million.
As bidding begins, Maryanne schmoozes in the opera box, playing host to the gangsters. Vincent approaches, sheepish.
We still haven't found him. And now our Belle's gone too.
I gave you one task, Vincent. One!
Ain't my fault. I stepped away for a minute, tops.
Maryanne eyes the loot emerging from the basement. Yes.
Round up some of the boys and get your asses down to the basement. We're doubling down on security ASAP.
Vincent nods. He motions to 2 security guards in the wings. The men move out, going after Gambit. Cut to interior upstairs brothel room. Bella zip-tied to the bedpost. Alice points the gun at her head. Bella's free hand hovers around her belt buckle. As the 2 women stare at each other, we begin to hear...
I know what you're thinking. You want to go for that knife hidden in your belt buckle.
Bella stares right back at her, also psychic.
I'm just thinking it's easier to just shoot me because right now you have to pee.
Alice glowers, embarrassed.
So then I guess this is one of those, what you call it? A stalemate.
A long beat. Then out of nowhere, suddenly both women react at once. Bella goes for the knife and Alice pulls the trigger. Bang. Instantly, Bella turns her head, dodging a bullet she knew was coming. Bella slices the zip tie, freeing herself, and lunges. The two women are now locked in a bizarre, semi-goofy psychic battle where they each know what the other is about to do. Bella throws a punch, Alice catches her arm. Alice raises the gun, Bella catches her arm. Arms locked, both women headbutt each other at the same time. They both fall back, stunned. As Alice darts for the gun on the floor, Bella's eyes roll back into her head. A disgusting image rolls through Alice's mind. It's cousin Henri on the toilet, eating KFC.
What's up?
Back to the scene. Alice puts on a sour face, thrown.
Ew. Ugh.
In that free second, Bella push kicks Alice out a window. Alice's body flies out the window, hitting pavement, dead. Bella stares out the window, eyes hard. She snatches the pistol off the floor, then exits, going after Gambit too. Interior basement hallways, night. Now we're on Gambit, Henri, and Dani, padding through the labyrinth of basements. Sandbags hold back floodwaters. Gambit cautiously pulls his crew into the shadows as Vincent and 6 more thugs enter from a stairwell. Gambit follows Vincent, peering around the corner into the loading area. Now we see the full scope of the Boudreaux security. 30 heavily armed thugs sending pallets of loot up freight elevators to the auction floor.
All right, honey. Do your thing.
Dani takes a breath, then darts behind some empty crates. Exterior main loading area. Behind the crates, Dani shuts her eyes, rocking back and forth. Slowly, the water at Dani's feet begins to ripple. On the thugs, the water at their feet begins rippling too. Slowly, a body rises up from the shallow water behind Vincent. The body is pale, gaunt, a nightmarish vision. Then Vincent turns. It's Julian Boudreaux, Bella's dead cousin. He looks like he's been sprawled, like he's crawled out of a grave. Vincent is stunned.
Jules? You're dead, cuz.
As Julian speaks, water burbles out of his mouth.
My death wasn't your fault. You're a good man, Vincent. You're the one who should be leaving this family.
Vincent lowers his gun. His eyes water. He's overwhelmed.
Always wanted to hear you say that.
It's Vincent's most secret wish. On Gambit and Henri, watching as Vincent talks to the air.
The hell's she doing to him?
What's the one thing all criminals got in common? Baggage.
On the thugs, slowly more and more people start rising out of the rippled water, an army of secrets coming to the surface. A wizened old man emerges, approaching a Japanese gangster.
Faza!
That's you, Curtis.
I never meant to abandon you and your mother. It was dishonorable.
The old man cautiously embraces his estranged son. Next, a priest emerges, approaching a shocked Irish mobster.
Father Flanagan.
The priest puts a hand on the mobster's shoulder, contrite.
I was Melissa too, Patrick.
Back on Gambit, fixing a cuff, ready to go.
All right. We're up.
On Gambit and Henri, walking right past all the guards, heading straight for the vault. All around them, 30 distracted guards deal with their invisible emotional issues, laughing, crying, and hugging air. Interior vault chamber. Gambit and Henri hurry to the vault chamber. They move past the large vault doors, now hanging open. In the vault, inside are empty crates, bits of stray loot. In the corner, Essex's trunk. It's totally unassuming. Nasty, rusted steel.
He's paying 50 mil for that.
Gambit approaches the huge lock on the container. As he slips on his gloves, flexing his fingers, ready to use his powers. Henri just feels around the top of the container.
Easy. Key's right here.
Henri grabs the key, slips it into the lock. The trunk opens with a click. Gambit and Henri stare down in disbelief.
You gotta be shitting me.
As we hold on Gambit and Henri's shocked faces.
Stop, hands up.
Bella's right behind them, holding a gun at Henri's head.
Step away from the trunk or else I'll put a sunroof in his head.
Gambit puts his hands up, glancing at the trunk.
Yeah, honey, someone's keeping secrets from me.
Now we're on Bella's face as she looks down at the trunk, her expression changing. She lowers the gun, filled with dread.
Oh, Jesus, Mama.
Cowering inside the trunk is a young mutant girl. This is Sarah. She's disfigured, with black eyes and bones jutting out of her face like horns. Fans will know her as Marrow. If we're really paying attention, we recognize her as the little girl Gambit saw 10 years ago in Storyville. Except Sarah is still 10 years old. She hasn't aged a day. Cut to interior basement loading area night. Dani rocking back and forth, casting her illusion. Under her eyelids, her eyes start to move faster back and forth. Dani's losing control of the illusion. On Vincent, his illusion dissipating like vapor. His consciousness slams into his body as he suddenly wakes up. Interior vault night. Bella approaches the trunk. Sarah skitters into the corner as Bella leans down and extends a hand.
It's okay, baby. I know you've been through hell, but I'm going to get you out of here. I'm about to go get you some fresh clothes and a meal.
Sarah cautiously grabs her hand with bony fingers, and Bella pulls her out of the trunk, turns to Gambit.
Okay, here's what's going to go down.
Before she can finish,
Belle, the hell are you doing?
camera whips back to reveal Vincent standing dumbly in the doorway, hand on his gun now, confused. Gambit and Bella share a look. Instantly, Bella points her gun at Vincent. Gambit and Bella now on the same side by default.
You knew about this?
It ain't what it looks like.
Really? Because it looks like Mama's been trafficking mutant kids.
Okay, maybe it is what it looks like. But still.
I'm not. I'm taking this girl to the outing. Rewind. I'm taking this girl out of here now oh, Jesus Christ. Now you be a good boy and get your ass back in that trunk.
Vincent eyes the disgusting metal trunk.
Okay, whoa, I'm not setting foot in that nasty ass.
Out of nowhere, wham! Henri punches Vincent in the chest. Henri's mutant strength sends Vincent flying into a wall, out.
Much obliged, Henri.
Bella grabs Sarah, pulls her to the door. Gambit smiles.
Feels pretty good, huh, Shell? You and me working on the same.
Bella interrupts him by pistol whipping Gambit in the face.
That's for the mind games.
Gambit reels. Bella hurries out with Sarah.
And we are not on the same side.
Exterior basement loading area, Palace of Chance, night. Feet splash puddles. Gambit and his crew rush through the water, past the charmed guards. Around them, 2 more guards snap back to reality. Just as soon as they wake up, crack! Henri clocks them, knocking out the men again. As Bella reaches the exit, Gambit yanks Dani from her trance.
Nice job, Shell.
Dani nods. As they bury out of the room, behind them, the spell is broken. One by one, more dazed men begin waking up, their illusions dissipating like vapor. Interior basement hallway. Gambit, Henri, Dani, and Bella and Sarah run the hallway, heading for the stairs. Gambit checks his watch.
This way. Upstairs.
But as Gambit opens the door to the stairwell, he sees, in the stairwell, 3 more Boudreaux guards prodding down the stairs. They see Gambit, instantly drawing guns. The men take aim. Gambit slams the door in their faces. He jumps back as bang, gunshots punch through the door.
Back the way we came, quick.
The crew runs back down the hallway. They hurry around a corner, confronted with all the Boudreaux security guards now wide awake. The team is trapped in the underground hallways. Gambit hurries towards the elevator at the end of the hall.
Bell, where's this elevator go?
Up.
Gambit punches the button as they all dart inside. Interior auction floor. Upstairs, the auction continues. The Italian now auctions off a pallet of gold Krugerrands.
I have 2.1 million going once, going twice.
Ding! On stage, the elevator doors open. Gambit's elevator opens directly onto the auction stage. Our team now stands in front of an entire opera house full of criminals. The theater goes eerily silent. Henri whispers,
We got an envelope for this.
Criminals eye each other, unsure of what to do. Then, in one of the opera boxes, Maryanne stands up. She looks down at Bella, motions with her hand, come here. It's a mirror image of the moment in the bank.
Bella, get away from him.
This time, Bella's face hardens. She steps in front of Sarah.
Bella, come here now. Now, Mama, I'm fine where I'm at.
Gambit smiles faintly. Maryanne nods to her security.
Lock the doors.
Clang. Guards shut the doors to the lobby, locking them in. Henri starts to sweat. Gambit digs his hands through the gold coins on stage. Maryanne turns to the room full of criminals.
Ladies and gentlemen, still stand. Or I'm sorry, the bounty still stands. Happy hunting.
All at once, the first group of criminals lunges for the stage. Gambit flings fistfuls of gold coins skyward, and for a moment the glittering coins descend on the crowd. Pennies from heaven. But the first criminal grabs a coin. Boom! The coins all begin to explode. In seconds, the auction hall is thrown into utter chaos. Screaming criminals stampede in every direction. We're swept into the rowdiest mutant brawl ever put on film. Gambit and his crew carve a path towards the double doors, protecting Sarah as they face wave after wave of criminals. First come the Dixie Mafia. Big hillbillies run at Gambit. Gambit snatches playing cards off the table. He shuffles them between his hands, starts throwing them three at a time, carving up the hillbillies in showers of dust. Moving through the smoke are Bella and Henri. Henri swings a table with mutant strength, knocking men back through the windows. Bella holds Sarah, taking pistol shots at the hand. Back on Gambit, leaping into the opera boxes, confronted with more thugs. Gambit starts charging the opera boxes themselves. Gambit leaps from box to box, blowing them up one by one. More men drop from the ground floor, screaming. As the chaos inside reaches a fever pitch, cut to exterior streets. Outside the palace, Mardi Gras rages on the street. Heads turns towards the faint sound of explosions. Folks peer down an alley at the gambling hall. As civilians watch, two great big hillbillies come sailing out of the palace walls or windows. The crowd screams, scattering. Interior Maryanne's booth. Back inside, the chaotic fight keeps building. Maryanne stands above the action, watching it all from the opera box. Maryanne sees Gambit's crew heading towards the double doors. She makes a decision, pulling up her couch cushions, revealing a beautiful old shotgun hidden underneath. Maryanne sweeps out the curtains, heading back to the mezzanine. Back on Gambit, leaping out of the opera box, grabbing one crook's wheelchair, charging the handles, sending it careening down a flight of stairs. It explodes, and criminals fly like 10 pins. Gambit has just carved out a path towards the lobby doors.
This way.
As the team regroups, hurrying for the double doors, they're finally confronted with the hand. Gambit, Bella, and the crew go back to back, surrounded.
Bella, I'm out of ammo.
So Bell starts handing things to Gambit, a chair leg, men's shoes. The two work in sync. Bella feeding him, Gambit operating like a human Uzi, hurling objects until at last they've cleared the floor. Henri shoulders through the doors. The crew hurries out to him, to the lobby. Gambit and his team stumble across the lobby, home free. As they reach the exit doors, Gambit looks out the windows. Blue and red police lights flash. Police cruisers screech up outside. Just as Gambit pulls his team up to the staircase.
Up to the roof. Go, go.
Boom. A chunk of wall explodes, inches from Gambit's face. Maryanne stands atop the grand staircase, pointing a shotgun at Gambit's head. Three Boudreaux enforcers behind her.
Not one more step.
The team stops short. Trapped on the stairs, Maryanne moves for Sarah, shotgun pointed. Bella glares at her.
Really, Mama? A little girl? Belle, what I did for us. That girl's worth a lot of money. I see you're fine with mutants as long as they make you rich. That's why you kept me around, isn't it?
Maryanne eyes her, revealing nuanced racism buried deep.
Actually, I always thought you were one of the good ones.
Then Maryanne points the shotgun at Gambit, ready to fire.
Him, on the other hand.
Sarah looks between Gambit and Maryanne. Then the girl speaks.
Oh, sorry.
Bang. Abruptly, Maryanne fires a shotgun at Gambit. Sarah steps in front of him, taking the shotgun blast. Sarah falls to the stairs. Bella gasps. The whole team is stunned. Even Maryanne looks a bit shocked. Then, on the floor, Sarah's wounds seal themselves shut, healing like Wolverine. Gambit watches dumbfounded as Sarah rises. Then, very abruptly, sweet little Sarah snaps a bone off of her own face and hurls it straight through Maryanne's leg. Maryanne begins screaming bloody murder. Her crew looks in horror as the burly men are unsure what to do. Everyone stares as the broken bones of Sarah's face slowly grow back, healing themselves too. Henri crosses himself. The girl is a stone-cold warrior. As Maryanne keeps screaming, her men see weakness, subtly step away from her. Bella seizes the moment. She eyes the cops outside and eyes Gambit.
Catch me.
Her body slumps. Gambit catches Bella as her consciousness explodes straight into her mother's screaming body. Maryanne abruptly stops screaming, her body jerking upright like a marionette. Exterior Palace of Chance. Outside, the cops look up as Maryanne walks stiffly out the front doors, hands up. Sarah's bone still juts from her leg. She stands before all the cops, hands up, voice dreamy.
In this building are $500 million worth of stolen art, jewelry, and cash. I stole it. Arrest me.
The cops stare up at Maryanne, then they take out the handcuffs. Interior lobby. Bella's eyes snap open. She looks at the stunned family, dark.
Anyone else got a problem with mutants?
Bella's crew shaking their heads, taking tiny steps back. Bella, a new kind of crime boss. She motions to Gambit.
Get her out of here.
Much obliged.
Gambit pulls Sarah towards the roof. Dani and Henri follow. Exterior rooftops. Mardi Gras fireworks explode overhead as Gambit and his crew burst onto the rooftop with Sarah. The crew leaps roof to roof, Gambit using a pole to propel himself, a moment of freedom that mirrors his childhood. As they hustle down a fire escape, Dani sees the streets below her crawling with cop cars.
I hope you got that exit strategy.
Exterior Storyville slums. In front of Dani's RV, Mask sleeps in a chair. Jamie's eyes their envelopes. Step 2, open at 10:30 p.m.
Yo, Masked. Time to open this stupid envelope.
As Mask wakes up, the two kids rip open their envelopes.
Come on, seriously?
Righteous. Exterior New Orleans streets. Police cars follow as Gambit and his crew leap down from the fire escape, moving into the crowded Mardi Gras streets. Cops step up from their cars, drawing guns as Gambit and his crew push through the crowd, Henri clearing a path. Dani looks back as the cops closing in. She's panicking.
Remy, there's too many of them.
Gambit spotting Storyville up ahead.
Trust me, Cher. If we go out, we're going to do it in style.
Exterior French Quarter Street. Jamie carries a boombox towards the street corner. Mask primes hundreds of fireworks. They can see Gambit and the crew hustling towards them through the crowd, police in pursuit. Jamie presses play on the stereo. An ecstatic dance jam begins to blast from the speakers, filling the streets. It's Prince's 1999. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. Exterior French Quarter Street. Gambit keeps running, heaving, lungs burning. Gambit pushes through the crowd, the crowd towards Jamie and Mask. We can see Mask's lighting fireworks, gold rockets whiz past Gambit's head. So many cops in pursuit, the street is turning into chaos.
Man, what the hell are you doing?
Throwing a party.
Exterior street corner. We're behind Jamie and Mask at the corner. At the exact moment Gambit's crew runs past them, they say 2000, party over, whoops, out of time.
Okay, hit it.
All at once, Mask reaches up and changes Jamie's face. We're behind Jamie as his face changes. We can't see what he looks like. Jamie makes dozens and dozens of copies of himself. His doubles fill the street behind Gambit and his crew. Cut to the police. All the cops screech to a halt. The street is suddenly blocked off with all of Jamie's doubles. And the cops step out of the cars, looking into the street in awe. In the street before them are 150 Gambits, all of them dancing to Prince, fireworks exploding overhead. So tonight I'm going to party like it's 1999. Some Gambits dance with each other. Some make out with tourist girls. A lot of the Gambits drink and fist bump like bros. As the fireworks pop overhead, the image is transfixing. It's the most narcissistic Mardi Gras party in history. Around the corner and out of sight, the crew watches all the dancing Gambits in total awe.
Okay, admit it. I admit it. That took stop.
Cut to exterior Storyville slums, dawn. As Mardi Gras winds to a close, we see our team moving towards Dani's tram car. Cut to the trunk of Henri's car opens. Gambit pulls out the case that Alice gave him, pops it open. We see it's filled with cash.
As promised. War job well done.
He tosses the kids $500,000 each. Dani, Jamie, and Mask all grinning now. More money than they've ever seen.
Righteous. When's the next gig?
There ain't no next gig. But here.
Gambit throws the kids another stack of cash. A warm moment.
Beats robbing jewelry stores, huh?
Jamie smiles. Henri holds Sarah, then turns to Dani.
Thanks for the use of the place, hon. We'll get out of your hair.
Dani bags her $500,000. Eyes the tram car with a smile.
Man, y'all can have this place. Wasn't mine to begin with.
Dani whistles. Her bulldog comes trotting out of the RV. We hold for a quiet moment as the three kids depart, leaving Gambit and Henri alone with Sarah. Interior Dani's tram car. Inside, Sarah cleans herself at the sink. She opens up her dirty little satchel, roots through her things. The strange little girl starts applying makeup. Surreal. Henri and Gambit eye her, unsure of their next move.
What do you want to do with the KID?
Sarah speaks up now. Her voice sounds weirdly confident, adult, like a very old child. It's surreal.
I can spell you. You don't have to treat me like a child.
Jesus. The crew shares a confused look.
How old are you?
I don't know.
Demon. Gambit's eyes, the strange bones growing out of Sarah's face.
So you don't age like no fuck, and your body heals itself, huh?
Sarah nods. Gambit and Henri step into the club, thinking.
What if Essex could borrow that? How much you reckon it was?
Billions. Easy.
On Sarah, Gambit and Henri approach. Gambit leans in sweetly, echoing the words of Luc LeBeau years ago.
Honey, you got a family we can get you back to?
Gambit and Henri share a look. Not the answer they expected.
And what is that, Sheriff?
Sarah digging through her satchel now.
Yeah, I have a picture.
Sarah hands Gambit a little photograph from her satchel. As Gambit stares at the photograph, his face slowly changes. It fills with dread. Gambit drops the photo. We see it's an image of Sarah standing in tableau with a young couple. They're in front of elegant columns. It's nearly identical to the photo of Gambit and his parents. Exterior Storyville slums. Wham! The RV door flies open and Gambit emerges in a rage. He growls, ripping the rear view mirror off a car and hurling it. In the doorway, Henri nervously holds Sarah.
Remy, what's wrong, bro?
Gambit looks up, raw, more vulnerable than we've ever seen him. His past is just connected to the job.
Essex hasn't played with me. I don't know how yet, but god damn it.
Dude, can you calm down? Right now, we gotta get this kid somewhere safe.
Sarah looks up at Henri. To their surprise, says,
Sorry for all the weird voices, but I want to go back to Mr. Essex.
What? No, sweetie. He's been taking advantage of you.
No, I really just like Smeagol, but he hasn't been taking advantage. He's been kind to me.
Henry's unsure what to do. Gambit, still angry, eyes Sarah.
Take me there. I want to see him myself.
Exterior Essex compound. A busted old sign, Storyville welcomes you. The mood is ominous as Gambit and Sarah step out of the car alone. Gambit looks up, sees they're parked at the back of the drab industrial building he once climbed as a boy. At the heavy entry gates, they approach a hand scanner. The machine takes Sarah's fingerprints. It measures her voice as she speaks the password.
Sarah Rushman.
As the gates swing open, the scanner plays a quick little melody, 2 low notes followed by 1 high note, the same melody we heard Gambit whistling as a little boy. Gambit enters the compound, catching a chill. Exterior Essex compound. Gambit walks behind Sarah into the industrial space. As Gambit pads cautiously past the dark outer buildings, he begins to hear a crackling noise from around the corner. Gambit tenses, holding Sarah close. But to his surprise, it's 3 laughing children wearing Mardi Gras masks, sparklers crackling in their hands. One child sees Gambit, pulls up his mask to reveal a strange, scaly face underneath. They're mutant children. Then 2 Creole nurses round a corner, uniforms like old nuns at Catholic school, French accents.
Not too close. Not too close to the gate, Martin.
Not too close to the gate, Martin.
The nurses grab the kids, pulling them back. Gambit looks stunned. What is this place? Nurses pull the kids away, glancing at Gambit, whispering.
Qui est le diable blanc?
Gambit understands, even if we don't, following them.
Hey, stop. You just called me the devil.
He rounds a corner, revealing the center of the compound. Inside, the most surreal Mardi Gras party we've ever seen. The compound looks like Pleasantville, neat rows of old houses, mutant kids in masks scampering on the grass. Behind them, a set of tall, broken columns, the same columns from the photograph of Gambit's parents. As Gambit stares, deflating, by a little row of houses, nurses and couples step out onto the porches, all dressed the same, loose-fitting work clothes, an unsettling, culty vibe. They eye Gambit, speaking excitedly.
Look, Remy's back.
Gambit's body visibly sags, realizing he grew up in this place, realizing Exodus has been playing him his whole life. Nurses approach, surrounding him. Kids with sparklers rush around. It's a freaky coming home party.
Look how handsome he is. Oh, he brought Sarah with him.
Oh la la.
Sarah breaks free of Gambit, runs to the woman. Then that same 3-tone chime sounds overhead, and a voice over the PA. Group A, please report for donation.
All right, my children, time for bed.
Some kids shuffle off to a dormitory. Others move towards a medical building along with Sarah. Gambit leaves the women, following Sarah, still feeling strangely protective of her.
Hey, wait. Where are you taking her?
Gambit hurries after Sarah into the medical building. Interior donation ward hallways. Inside, medical equipment hums and pulses. Gambit walks down a hall through a medical building. It feels like the hospital blood bank, a space where Essex is harvesting his drug. Gambit passes little rooms where mutants are set up in cradles, machines gently drawing blood and tissue samples. Some mutants chat, some are even asleep during the process. Gambit watches nurses place Sarah gently in the cradle. As she passes, Sarah gives him a little smile. Everyone seems oddly sincere or serene. Then Gambit spots a door that makes him stop short. The door that bears a little symbol, a diamond with 2 dots around it, a symbol we've seen Gambit idly doodle throughout the story. Gambit remembers the door, eyes the security camera above it, speaks to a passing mutant boy with unfortunately flaky skin.
Kid, what's through that door?
Oh, the kids aren't allowed in there.
Gambit furrows his brow. He tries the door and it's locked. Gambit looks around, then charges the handle. Pop. The door flies open. A soft alarm sounds. Gambit hurries down the industrial stairwell leading into the dark. Interior maternity ward. The space is stranger. Colder, more industrial, stone and steel, pipes curling down from the ceiling at odd angles. Alarms sound off as Gambit hurries down a hallway lined with windows. Through the glass, he watches technicians walk among a field of incubators. It's like a sea of newborn mutant children. Gambit watches through glass as an eerie, calm scene plays out. Behind the glass, one technician takes a tissue sample from a newborn mutant. Another tech sticks the sample under a microscope, analyzes it. Then he looks back to the coworker and shakes his head. No. The first technician leans in, injecting the newborn with a needle. The child goes still. Back on Gambit, his blood going cold, banging on the window. Did they just casually kill a mutant child?
Hey, hey. What are you doing to those kids?
Interior birthing room day. A security monitor plays an image of Gambit pounding on the glass. We can't see much in the room, just glimpses of Essex. Essex reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small vial of black pills. He begins crunching them up into his teeth. He's preparing for Gambit's arrival. Interior hallways. Gambit starts running through the stone hallways looking for Essex, passing sinister sights now. Machines covered in sheets, tables in an operating room covered in black blood. Gambit spots a black door leading to a central chamber. He draws a playing card, charges it up, ready to confront Essex. At last, Gambit bursts through the door to the birthing room, in Essex' inner sanctum. The centerpiece of the lab is a cavernous birthing room, stone walls lined with strange steel machines, multiple exits, almost like a theater. Gambit bursts in on Essex, ready for blood. But he sees Essex is hunched over, back turned, pulling something out of one of his humming machines. The machine is full of embryonic fluid and it seems to almost breathe as the fluid is oxygenated. Essex's back is still turned. He's whispering softly.
There we go. It's okay. It's okay.
Gambit hears a gentle crying sound, and then Essex turns. In his arms is a newborn baby, the next child born on his lab. All Gambit's anger is instantly diffused. The card stops charging. He can't hurt Essex without hurting the child. Gambit stands there, nothing to do with all of his anger.
Go to town.
Gambit looks ready to explode. Essex still seems so relaxed.
Take it easy. I know you're expecting some kind of showdown. I'm just happy you're back.
Essex begins walking to a steel table. As he talks, he begins sweetly cleaning amniotic fluid off the little mutant child.
And the way you got my little Sarah back, very clever. I couldn't have planned it better myself.
Compliments throw Gambit.
Yeah. How long till you kill her too?
Sarah? I couldn't kill her even if I had tried. She's truly one of a kind. Every man, woman, and child on this planet is going to want what's in her blood. Now that's power.
It's a shame you can't say the same for the rest of these kids, huh?
Essex keeps cleaning the child, washing his hands as he talks. If we look close, we notice the child has no belly button.
Remy, these children serve a purpose, which is more than can be said for most people. But yes, some don't provide workable tissue. I can't exactly send little Billy off into the world with a lunchbox, can I? That would draw too much attention, and our work would have to stop. There we are.
Essex, now putting a little cloth diaper on the baby. Gambit looks around at all of Essex's machines.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. This whole freaky Jonestown compound, this is done. I'm gonna destroy your lab upstairs. These little easy bake ovens, they're gonna make gonna be gone too. I'll make it my mission.
Essex picking up the baby again, just holding it. So calm.
Oh, sure, that's fine. But before you do, let me tell you a little story, just so you know what kind of person you're dealing with.
The baby starts mewling softly. Essex looks down at it.
See, the first kid in my program was one of my own. When he was born, he was this really small, frail little kid. He used to get sick all the time. I had an idea in my mind about how it was supposed to feel having a kid. But when I looked down at him, I just felt nothing. I thought maybe it would change over time. Maybe I'd grow to love him. And even though, sure, he was amusing at times, the years went by and still I felt nothing. So I thought maybe I could make something out of this. That's when I decided to do a little experiment with him.
As Essex talks, we see Gambit's anger steadily building.
I tried to synthesize a drug from his DNA. You know what happened? It killed everyone who ever took it. See, my son was too unstable, too unbalanced, and that made me sick to my stomach because I knew the problem. That frail little kid, he had my bad blood. I was sure he wouldn't live past his 4th birthday, but I didn't have the heart to terminate the project. So I put him in my car and drove him down to the river, and I left him. And you know what? Afterwards, I felt so much better.
On Gambit, reacting so angry he's visibly trembling.
No. That's bullshit.
Then Essex puts the baby in the incubator, steps away from it, goading Gambit, like, go ahead, shoot.
You've always had a darkness in you. Now you know where it comes from. Me.
Very abruptly, Gambit slides a card out of his sleeve, hurling it. Essex just puts up a hand. The card stops in midair. The card hovers there, held telekinetically, humming. With a casual flick of Essex's wrist, the card is redirected into a stone wall. Boom. The wall crumbles in a shower of brick. Alarms blare, sprinklers pour from the ceiling. The child cries in his incubator. Essex looks at Gambit, both men soaking wet.
Attaboy. See, you just proved my point.
Gambit looks furious. Essex making his appeal.
I'll be honest. I never dreamed you'd have so much potential. Boy, was I wrong.
As Gambit's anger builds, the profile of his power changes. His rust-red eyes are getting darker. That baby keeps crying. Gambit throws another card. Essex redirects it into a wall. Boom. The explosion looks different, now a rush of blue flame. The angrier Gambit gets, the more he seems like Essex.
You should be thanking me. I saved you. Before I intervened, you were rudderless. I got you back in the game, so show some goddamn respect.
Gambit throws a third card, even angrier. Essex redirects it. Boom. It destroys a wall closer to the child in the incubator. The child screams. Is Gambit losing control? Then 6 of Essex guards rush into the stone exits, archways leading to other tunnels. Men in Kevlar stand in the pouring water, all pointing their guns at Gambit. Gambit holds his last card, body brimming with dark energy. The raindrops falling onto his body are turning to steam.
Okay, Tiger. Here's what happens next. You've done one job for me. Now you're going to keep working for me. In return, I'll teach you how to use your gifts with a little help. I think all the anger could power this whole city.
Gambit's dark eyes look around at all the guards, all pointing guns. The child keeps crying in the pouring rain.
Otherwise, I hold you accountable for everything, every crime you have committed, and there are many. I'll make sure you spend the rest of your life buried in a deep, dark hole. Now, son, do we have a deal?
Everything was a setup. Gambit's trapped. Essex has won. Gambit becomes so angry, his eyes turn jet black, losing control of his anger. Finally, it all explodes out of him all at once. In the rain, Gambit tries to hurl his last playing card. Guards lift their guns, blasting out Gambit's legs, his hands, or if we prefer, hitting him with crackling tasers. The card falls harmlessly to the wet floor. Gambit drops to the floor, soaking and bleeding. Guards rush him, strap adamantium coils around his wrist. Water pours. The baby keeps crying. Gambit has no fight left. High above his head, a whirring ventilator fan becomes the New Orleans courtroom, the ceiling fan spinning in the courtroom. A voice floats in.
I admit that the life I've lived ain't benefiting nobody but me. Yeah, I'm a thief and a mutant. Am I a bad man? I recognize it.
We're back in court. We see Gambit restrained in the witness stand. Our story has come full circle. Now only when Gambit speaks, he sounds different, contrite, finally owning up to his mutanthood. Then Gambit looks up to the 12 members of the jury.
The one thing I've known is a lie. Everything I said today is true.
Then Gambit looks to Nathaniel Essex, sitting in the back of the courtroom. Essex looks composed, wearing a dark suit.
And the real criminal is right there.
Suddenly, the courtroom comes to life.
Objection.
Sustained. Mr. LeBeau, Nathaniel Essex is not the one on trial. The Gambit won't stop accusing Essex. The crowd murmurs.
He's been killing his own kind.
Your Honor, objection.
Mr. LeBeau, I will hold you in contempt.
And you know why there hasn't been a police investigation?
Gambit looks at Essex, sounding like a truly changed man.
Because he's exploiting mutants, folks in Storeville. People nobody gives a shit about. Nobody but me.
Jury murmurs, and a few women in the audience applaud. That's it. I'm holding you in contempt. You're fined $50,000.
Take it. I don't care anymore.
The judge motions to the U.S. Marshal. Look, get him out of here. Let him cool off. Marshals pull him out. Gambit struggles and keeps yelling.
I mean, that's why this whole country was founded, right? Freedom and equality for all. George Washington was a mutant.
Applause as Gambit is pulled out. The judge eyes the jury. Look, I want to remind you what you just heard is inadmissible. Your job is only to decide if Remy LeBeau is guilty or innocent of the attempted murder of Nathaniel Essex. Counselor, call your next witness.
The prosecution calls to the stand Mr. Nathaniel Essex.
The crowd whispers as Essex takes the stand, poised.
Sir, please state your name.
Essex leans in, speaking into the mic. His voice is warm.
My name is Nathaniel Essex.
Bailiff holds out the Bible. Essex puts his hand on it.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
Bailiff exits with the Bible. Essex sits.
Mr. Essex, how much of Remy LeBeau's testimony is true?
Not one word of it.
A murmur ripples through the jury. Interior lobby, courtroom, later. Gambit waits in the lobby, chained, depressed. A quiet beat as he stares at the bustling lobby. We see 2 guards by a metal detector at the entrance. Then,
Mr. LeBeau, we're ready for you.
interior courtroom. Gambit is cuffed, watching the jury foreman hand the verdict to the judge. The judge reads, "Here comes the verdict. Mr. LeBeau, I appreciate your remorse after the life you've led. Even so, the law is the law. State of Louisiana finds you guilty of attempted murder." Courtroom reacts, buzzing. "I'm sentencing you to 50 years in the Louisiana State Penitentiary." Gambit slouches down. Essex smiles faintly. Justice done. Exterior courthouse steps. The court bustles with activity. Essex steps outside in the sunlight. He walks down the steps relieved, holding a phone.
It's done. You didn't have a chance. Now, where are we with the drug trials? I want us ready for...
Suddenly, a little street kid runs up, hands Essex an envelope. The boy runs off. Essex stands on the steps, puzzled.
Let me call you back.
Essex hangs up. He opens the envelope. Inside are 3 photographs. Slowly, the hair on Essex's neck stands up.
No.
Essex drops the photos on the courthouse steps, and we see inside are 3 headshots. It's the bailiff from the courtroom, the 2 security guards in the courthouse lobby. All 3 of them are classically trained actors. Interior courthouse lobby. Essex bursts into the courtroom. Something's wrong. He just doesn't know what. Essex rushes through the crowd.
That security guard, where is he?
Essex pushes through the crowd, horrified. His phone rings.
Hello?
Sir, it's the house we're being robbed.
How? How is this happening?
As Essex turns circles to the packed courthouse, we begin to flash back, intercutting a superpowered con. Flash to interior Cadillac day. Flashback. Jamie and Henri sit in the back of the Cadillac, talking to someone we can't see. Henri is smoothly running a pitch.
I know it looks bad. Remy's locked away, and we ain't always seen eye to eye, but like my daddy once said.
Across from him is Belladonna and the remains of her crew. Bella, the clothes and confident heir of a mutant godmother. She's head of the family now, head of the Assassin's Guild, with the requisite neck tattoo to show for it.
40 thieves working together. There ain't nothing we can't do.
And who's going to be the brains of this operation? You?
Matter of fact, yeah.
We're about to see all of Henry's rejected ideas come to life. Interior lobby. Essex enters the courthouse the day of the trial. He passes a metal detector, puts his keys in the bowl, and we see two actors in the security guard uniforms. They take Essex's keys, slip them into a putty mold, and quickly make a copy. Interior, exterior Essex mansion. With the stolen keys, the Vanisher twins unlock the door of Essex mansion. They pull guns and shout to Essex maids. Curtis?
Hands up. You just got the day off.
The three men start grabbing all of Essex's art off the walls. The TV, the furniture, they disappear and reappear, lightning fast, until Essex's house is stripped bare. One of the men even grabs Essex's dog and poof, vanishes. Interior, empty courtroom, day, present. We're back in the present. Essex bursts into the empty courtroom looking for Gambit. He dials his phone, frantic. Office of Nathaniel Essex?
I think we're being robbed. Don't let anyone open the gates.
Sir, you just opened the gates. As Essex reacts, horrified, flash to interior courtroom. On the witness stand, Essex swears on the Bible, speaking his password into the mic.
My name is Nathaniel Essex.
We follow the fake bailiff as he takes the Bible away. As he exits the courtroom, he rips the cover off the Bible. It's a fingerprint scanner. Interior van. In the van, Jamie applies a latex fingerprint. Mask reaches up and touches his face. Jamie's skin contorts into Essex's face. Jamie exits the van wearing a suit. He now looks exactly like Essex. We see the van is parked right outside of Essex's lab. Jamie puts his fingertips onto the hand scanner. He places a tape recorder up to the gate. It measures the voice.
Nathaniel Essex.
The gate opens. Jamie walks right into the compound. Behind him, the vans pull up. Bella and her crew pour into the gates. Interior donation ward. Bella's crew now holds Essex henchmen at gunpoint. Behind them, other men are destroying Essex equipment. Bella strides past them down the hall. She opens the door to Sarah's room. Sarah opens her black eyes and looks up at Bella. Interior lobby continuous. Essex hurries out of the courthouse lobby, deeply troubled now. Behind him, a reporter chats at a payphone. Hey, Mr. Essex, wait! Essex hurries away. The reporter follows and pulls out a recorder. Mr. Essex, Chris Claremont, Times Biscayne. 100 mutant kids just showed up at our front steps and they said they came from your facility.
No comment.
Essex starts running down the hall towards the holding cells. Interior holding cell. Finally, we see Gambit. Behind bars in the courthouse holding cell. His wrists are cuffed to the pole on the floor. He kneels like he's praying. As Gambit looks up, smiling faintly, Essex approaches. Eyes hard. The men face off between the bars.
I suppose you think you're clever, but no one is smarter than me. You still don't see the big picture. And if you think you're safe in that cell, you have no idea how sinister I can be.
Gambit stares back. Then he turns into Mystique. Essex watches as Raven slips out of the cuffs. She leaps backwards up out of the window, squeezes out the bars. Gone. We stay on Essex, standing alone, completely, utterly fucked. Even Gambit's speech in court was a lie because Gambit wasn't Gambit. In exterior alleyway, courthouse. Raven drops out the window, hurrying into an idling Chevy. Interior Henri's car, day. Raven hops into the back seat up front are Henri and Gambit. Raven holds out her hand, says 2 words.
Hey, now.
Exterior Boudreaux compound. 6 sedans pull up to the Boudreaux compound. We find Gambit and Henri stepping out of the sedan. Bella steps out from another. Gambit puts his arm around his cousin.
Well, I'll give it to you, Henri. A good idea is a good idea.
Henri grins. Before they enter, Henri takes a vial of the mutant genome out of his pocket and lobs it in the trash. He's finally stepped out of Gambit's shadow. We see Jamie, Mask, and Dani, all with flashy clothes now. Dani's alcoholic dog now has a diamond collar. Finally, Gambit and Bella meet eyes. He admires her fresh wardrobe. Then perhaps Gambit takes out an engagement ring that he stole as a 6-year-old and slips it onto her finger. Exterior Boudreaux compound continuous. Gambit, Bella, and Henri walk through the house. The Vanisher twins appear and disappear behind them, dropping off loot. Exterior street. Essex hurries out of the courthouse now with 3 reporters in tow, all shouting their questions. Essex's phone rings a final time. He answers, losing his cool.
What?
Intercut with Gambit, standing in a warehouse holding a phone.
You're right, Dad. I'm a bad man.
Essex goes pale as reporters surround him. Exterior Boudreaux compound. Champagne corks pop. Our thieves are celebrating now. A party in progress. We have come full circle. Amid the laughter and cheers, one of Jamie's doubles flips on a boombox. As the music kicks in, the thieves begin to dance. It starts with Gambit spreading out to the others infectious. Bella and Gambit share a look. They start to dance together. Soon they're totally uninhibited, dancing with their friends, just as they tried to do at the beginning of the story. The dance continues, our moving ending in the last place we expected, with a funky, ecstatic, Bollywood-style dance party. As Gambit and Bella dance, as the music reaches its climax, slam to black, end. And that is the very wild possible draft for Gambit. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the next one.
Bye.